Good night, good night, good night, good night. Are we out there in YouTube land? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me, people. I want to make sure it's clear. Now we have some mic problems when I start, you know. I'm not sure why. It says I'm on, but I'm not seeing anyone click in. Can you hear me? There's a delayed feed in on the thing delayed. All right, I can't hear myself. Can I hear myself? No, you can't hear me. Wait. See, I can't hear myself, so you can't hear me. I play my iPad. I don't know what you talk about. Oh, no, you can't hear me. You can't hear me. If you can't hear me, no, and it's your device, it's not my one. Good night, everybody. Good night, good night. Welcome, welcome. Put on your glasses. Me have enough to talk, people. Me have enough to talk about. I heard Rudolph Speed being interviewed today. Hey, Rudolph, you know, you're joining the program today, Rudolph. Not for questions, okay? No, I'm question you. You know, I see a man afraid of me, so. Hey, I call out Rudolph. If I call him out like a, you know, when you're a boxer, I call out another opponent, kind of want to fight him. This is not a fight, Rudolph. We're trying to have some conversation. We got to get some conversation. Me and Rudolph on Kayla yesterday. I'm going to call you now. You know, I'm going to call into the program because I'm listen. I don't want nobody control what I'm going to ask, how I'm going to ask it, how I'm going to position it. We're not having that. We're not having that. If I'm going to be in a program, give me the latitude to ask my question I want to. But I was texting one of the hosts in the background and saying, I'm not pleased with the interview. I don't like how it was going. Because the problem I have is this, is that if you're a friend with somebody, then it's a conflict of interest. So tell the audience so they can understand what they're working with. Because it's very obvious that by the way, people, I am very cantankerous and very cranky tonight for some reason. I'm not taking no check. So, as such, if you come in on my chat, hit the like button. I'll cuss you out and tell you if you go on about your business. Because, you know what Mr. Vex to? I do my tax return. I get my tax information. I never do my tax return no more. I get somebody to do it. You know, I can't do it myself. I get somebody to do it. And I check the numbers. I just go look at the numbers now. I make $38.95, I think it is, and I spend $5,000 something. So that means I lose money on YouTube. I'm not like lose money. I asked a friend of mine before I did it. I said, you can't stop YouTube. I said to him, okay, suppose somebody makes $10,000 and they're spending $15,000. Should they be in business? I said, no, I idiot think that. I said, exactly. So let me tell you my situation, not as big numbers. He might say, no. He might try to give me some kind of argument. Him sound like Maverick. So we're going to touch upon a number of things. One is we're going to touch upon how we got here. How the hell do we get here as it relates to the World Cup? Jesus Lord. From dream to disaster. That's my thumbnail. From soup. You know, I must have my grandmother have make a soup rice. You see some people cook, my great-grandmother, not my grandmother. I grew up with my great-grandmother. She just cook the rice, people, and I like a soup I drink. You know, when some people cook rice, it's not grainy. It's like a soup rice I drink. And it's like every Sunday, people. I used to dread. I used to eat from people, you know, so I used to go at people also eat. So I have to eat the soup rice. So we get some soup rice or the soup dash way. Because we have never had an easier time to get to a World Cup than this year. And the dash way. Now, there are some people who are extremely concerned about what I say in these forums, and I'm starting to get calls nowadays. So that means I'm absolutely fake. I feel a lot. We get enough calls about enough things, but some people call me to cuss me out. But the one thing I say about many of you guys who follow my channel, I don't stop feeding me the information. Sometimes me out of the loop, me busy, I do something, and my phone just blew up. Because I have a phone specifically for YouTube, you know. Blow up with information. I have to go look for the latest news on Jamaica football. It's on my phone 24/7. And I appreciate each of you who do that because it keeps me abreast and keeps me informed as long as I decide to cover this. Right? Now, there are a couple of things. One is people have been sending me videos to show that I'm going to be tactical and we're going to be strategic. So the tactical is about the immediacy of what transpired in the game against DR Congo. Then we're going to take a step back and be big picture about the entirety of the process. We won't talk about every single aspect as to how we got to the DR Congo game from the Hogrimson hiring through now. Because in order for you to know how to go forward, you got to know your history. You got to do what they suggest we should do, which is you have to go back and do an analysis of what transpired. So we'll do that in some respects. And then prospectively, we're going to talk about what we need to do if we have a sustainable football team going forward. We may not have all the time to do that, actually. Let's talk about the game itself a little bit, and then we move on. I did record the game. I'm going to get a chance to watch it in the second time around. So let me see if we can put this up. I'll get in trouble if we do this anymore. I'll put it up. Probably get me in trouble with the authorities, but I'll put it up. Somebody sent this to me. So I'm play it. Saying it was a handball, right? And my things start freeze. Hey, them things embarrass me now. All right. Let's do it again. See? Somebody said that to me. It looked like a handball. It had no nothing about the goal. Know nothing about the goal, right? Let's play it back and forth and play it back and forth. He don't know nothing about the ball, people. The ball was headed by shot. Hey, you know some Latibody here? You need about 1 more inch, my youth. He tried to head the ball, or you need some more lift. It ricocheted off him. VAR took forever, right? Because nobody knew anything happened. Took forever to substantiate that this was a goal. Right? Forever. Sorry about that. Forever to substantiate the goal. So VAR had doubt. Don't ask me why VAR didn't send the ref to the monitor. Because obviously VAR is not going to overturn something that's subjective. If it was not given a goal, VAR wouldn't have overturned it, and vice versa. That's how it normally works. I don't know why VAR wouldn't have said, go to the monitor ref. You look at it, and then you tell us, then you make a decision as to whether it's a goal or not. So that was one thing. Right? That was one thing. Second, I want to talk about, before I jump into the whole analysis of where we are. Second, I had a very difficult conversation with, I'm going to talk about it, with Maverick. I had a communication with Maverick. Maverick said that Liam Bailey played well. He said Liam Bailey played well. One of the best games for Jamaica. And I text him to say, basically he's talking nonsense. And we had a whole back and forth. I won't go into the detail of back and forth. It wasn't a pleasant communication. And what a part of it, Mavericks believe is that nobody can tell nothing about football. They know a lot about football. I can say today that it is my view that I will never, not that I won't listen to this program, when Maverick start giving opinion on football, I'm going to turn him off if I listen to him again. His football knowledge, his arrogance about his knowledge of football and his actual football knowledge, they don't meet. He believes he is the epitome of what it takes to be a football assessor and knowledge. And when he's presented with facts, because he likes to win arguments, you know where my people. It was embarrassing. He was asking me, who was Jamaica's best offensive player? And my view is, Jamaica didn't have no offensive player. Bailey took one shot. He had one header go wide. I don't know his best offensive player. In fact, Bailey was a deficit. I'm going to take some comment first, and then I'm going to get more into this, and then I'm going to go more to what I intend to talk about this evening. I wasn't here to beat Bailey, but he's going to come up. Person said, if you want to make more money, Kranky, post more pre-recorded. Okay. Yeah, it's not about the money now. Me just make a point. Say, pay me. So if you don't want to give me no likes, then me will take some time off to come in a night. Enough people encourage me to do YouTube now. But if me I spend my time, I do it, I don't want to show no support. Because some people are not about the money now. People like views and likes. It's not even about the money. It's about views and likes. It's about people appreciate what you do. If people don't appreciate you, if you find something else to do, that's how me live my life. So if you don't appreciate me, then me have to go find something else to do because I waste my time. I'm projecting what? What am I projecting? What are you talking about? Elaborate. So let's go to Bailey's stats. So him said Bailey won him best game ever. In my view, so here's the stats, people. Here are the stats, people. I want you football aficionado to read it. Read the stats. Don't make it up. If you want to see it, go to SofaScore and type in Jamaica versus DR Congo. These are his stats. His rating was 5.6. The next lowest rating was 60 basis points lower, which is 6.2 by Bailey Cotamarteri, who had a bad game in my view. Let me say this again. Of all the players, and it had to be about 30 players who played in that game. 12 plus 22, 28 players who played in that game. No, let me tell you. 12 plus 22, 34 players who played in that game. Or something around that, because I think they both have 6 substitutes, right? He was by far the worst grading and by far the worst stats on the pitch. Now, what people like Maverick says, they know what their eyes tell them. You goddamn need some glasses, son. Or because your eyes don't understand football, you don't get it. And sometimes what happens, people, when we watch a game, we miss a lot of things. We don't see the stats. We don't understand the stats. We sit and we go back to it and we say, when you watch a game for the second time, you're like, oh, damn, I didn't really think about that, right? These stats are alarming. I have never in the history of assessing a football player see someone who had 30 possession loss. Never. You tell me. Go show me one. He lost 30 possession in a game. Now some people complain that, well, it's not really 30 possession because, you know, some things will ricochet here and there. Everybody have the same stats. So if you go to Tyrese Campbell, for example, he may have lost the ball 15 times, whatever it is. This man had 30. 30. He won 4 of 16 duels. He was 1 of 6 unattempted dribbles. You can't make this up. And then not I say, fight the man. What I'm fighting is mediocrity. What I'm fighting is poor performance. Yes, he played hard. And I heard somebody ask Rudolph Speed a question today. And Rudolph Speed said he played defense well. I didn't know his job was right back. I thought his job was right wing to play offense. Now, it's a brilliant answer by Rudolph, by the way. Brilliant answer. Brilliant answer. Because he's the manager. He's got to be very careful what he says in public. He ran back hard. He played well. He never answered the question about whether he played well. He never said he contributed offensively. He played defense well. He was committed. He exert energy. I didn't know we're in the exerting business. Playing hard doesn't mean playing smart or playing effectively. Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, someone else there, sir. Hey, Dry X, I know idea if messing with people. Me not project nothing. Me, I tell you what we communicate about. It was no secret communication. Me send him my text and tell him say I chat nonsense, and him send back a text and me don't know me I talk about what the best offensive player. There are no offenses. In fact, Leon Bailey was the best Congo player. Let me repeat that. Someone don't like me talk about that because I fight the man. He was the best player for Congo. Let me give you a stat, people. Just think about this stat. He made 18 successful passes. So on a net basis, and this is just passing play at him, don't say go nowhere. He had a net 12. If you're going to use passes as a criteria saying it was a positive play and a negative 30 possession loss, that means negative 12. He was the best Congo player. Because what you guys are missing in football is this. And this is the reason why Pep Guardiola plays like this. Possession is key. If I have the ball, you can't score. If I have the ball in my possession, you don't have a ability to score because I have the ball. And Rudolph Speed is, I'm going to use the word, is congratulating himself on we had more possession than the opposition, which means he value possession. Because when you make them argument, because you lose, you have to come up with some other thing to make it look good. Right? You lose a game, but you have more possession, and Jamaica didn't have possession. So, but Bailey lost it 30 times. So imagine Bailey didn't lose it 30 times. We probably have about 65% possession. Probably could have win the game. Those who say, well, who could we put on to be better? He wasn't good. He was awful. I don't know why I cause Kranky, but Kranky I fight them and Kranky bad mind. First of all, I'm not bad mind mode. Me not bad mind poor performance. Me can't bad mind poor performance. This is stats Only take copyright people. Take the copyright. Because Maverick say, oh, what are you talking about? I don't look at stats. I know what my eyes tell me. If you in 2026 don't think that data and stats are an imperative and probably the most important thing you're going to have, maybe your job or otherwise, then you're in the analog environment. You're old, you're dated, and you won't be relevant anytime soon. Okay? You won't be relevant anytime soon because you know what you're talking about. So for him come talk about say, oh, Kranky, I don't look at the stats. I know my eyes tell me. Your eyes are because you have your bias coupled with your inability to interpret the stats. Because he don't know about stats now. The first time I ever started looking at stats is when me call him out. So me and my talk about the channel and say, well, oh, this person had 7 goals and 6. He never talked about it before. Can we call him out? Call him topical. It's embarrassing. And I feel part of my job is to take to task the traditional Jamaican media. I text one of the hosts today on the program and tell them what they're doing was basically embarrassing. Wasn't pleased with the interview, not coming on your show and ask no question of Speed because you want to control the narrative so you don't get no difficult question. Rudolph should feel uncomfortable in those interviews. Rudolph is smiling and happy. He's not getting no pressure. In those interviews, tone matters. If you make it understand, when I don't smile up thinking of my youth, we feel if we go World Cup. Now, I won't go to the Rudolph interview now. I did record it, but there's a lot of advertisement in there. I got to go in and slice it up and cut it up and then put it back out. But at the end of the day, I don't saw callers. I call out someone or two. Some of the questions I want to ask, I'm trying to be nice. What words do I use to say? Jamaicans going to say some idiot question. I'm not going to say that. They need to be revisited. I'm going to give you a question, example of a question, people, that was not asked. Someone asked about Bailey and I think they also asked about Bailey and Rudolph says, well, Bailey played hard. Like you will say, how did Bailey, how you thought about Bailey's performance? And a full question that. Then the coach can't say Bailey played terrible because the coach is the coach. If you say to him, Rudolph Speed, when I look at the stats, here are the stats of Bailey. How could Bailey play 120 minutes when he had the worst performance of any player and was evident he was being a detriment versus and a liability versus an asset? How did you get there? What is he going to say? Him play defense? So him keep him on? When him have Cephas on the bench? When him have Brooks on the bench? When him have Campbell on the bench? Now my Campbell? What am I say? Why could you take Bailey off? Because you felt the pressure from Jamaica all across the pond that says Bailey has to play? Why you keep King on the field when he was 4 of 19 on long passes? Rudolph said that King was cramping up, and that's the rationale for King not doing all the long passes. Rudolph, that's pure crap. King's first ball that he kicked, the first ball of the game, King kicked the ball over the side, over Campbell, over him head, out of bounds, and he's been doing that for the rest of the game. What are we talking about? I am so frustrated with the nonsense. And then the people asking questions, they can't even pivot. There's no impromptu-ness in the whole conversation. They can't pivot, they structure, they have the thing on their read and they ask a question, and then there's no follow-up. I think we are lost. I think it's across the whole spectrum, the whole ecosystem. Whether it's the administration, whether it's the coaches, whether it's the media, it's not funny. It's not fun. And then when people come to me and Mark will say, Kranky thinks I'm smart. I don't even know how to answer that. Well, people like him make me feel like I'm smart. Because when I hear his analysis of football, I am shocked. I swear to God, I'm shocked. I couldn't believe what he was coming up with, what he was saying. I couldn't believe it. How bad he is. And he have a whole program of whole people. Then other people might idiot listen to him, including yours truly. They tell me I say, I can't listen anymore. I stop listening to me now, but I say, I want to hear what I go on him program because I want to hear what them talk about after the game. That's the forum I know for people to go to. It was embarrassing. And then we get the same narrative. People, let me change the program to them. Let me go to know system and feel in the street. Let me just rant all night and they can't cuss me. Then I go to the whole, we need to go more local. We need to go more local. We need to get rid of the foreign thing. It's not working. It's not. When they ask Speed the question and then kind of in dilly-dally. And then ask Maverick, well, I think there should be more balance. I don't think we should get rid of all the foreign players. There should be more balance, And the local players are more committed. we're not going to an asylum. What do you mean cut me? Committed way. It is so tiring. That's why I have to stop coming. So I say Minzy stop covering Jamaica football. Now, I understand. I understand before, you know. I say Minzy coaches there stop covering Jamaica football. And we talk about it, but it's on the periphery. It's not like before we used to go on him channel and talk all the time. On weekend we have the triple treat and all that. Not do that no more. No, me understand. It's tiresome. It's tiresome. And then Rudolph is gonna go in the public domain and talk about the success of the JFF and the women's team, and they might beat them just about under 20, under 17. The women's team went to 2 World Cup, and some people say despite the JFF. I was the one who says you got to give JFF some credit. Most people are saying, hell no, they have nothing to do with it. Marley have something to do with it. When it comes to the under 20, under 17, the under 17 beat Canada, and good win, but then bully them. Bigger, stronger, faster. It worked with kids. It doesn't work with the adults. Canada played the better football, but then bully them and run them over and run them out of place. And then say the coach was better and the coach beat the Canada coach and better than the Canada coach. Wow, we win. So when you win, you're better. But when you lose against an opponent you're not supposed to win, you are also better. So you're never, ever not better. You would think we beat DR Congo people. I thought Jamaica did well against DR Congo relative to the low expectation. But the conversation now is as if we won the game. Let me take some comments, people, because me now I'm mood tonight, me I tell you. Me can't even go through the what we going to talk about earlier. Me not tell a lie. The more me I talk about this, the more me I get fired up. Me sorry, people. I apologize. Let me take some comments. The preparation for the 20 World Cup begins in September with the CONCACAF Nations League. The 20 World Cup will have the same 48 teams. Okay, that's good to know. Vaughn says, Kranky, how I look at Bailey, he's our highest profile player, but he has deficiencies. Problem is the coaching does not take advantage of what he does well unless it's deficiencies. So here's where I get beaten. Hey, Vaughn, I respect your opinion, but it's people like yourself that got us into where we are now when it comes to Bailey. You know, Robbie Lyle said something on his channel when we were watching. Because you know the Jamaicans are proximity is not their thing when it comes to Jamaica. They're in England. They had I mentioned this the other day, they had about 9 people watching. And Robbie said, I don't know what Bailey was doing. He said, get up. He said, get up. You know, do nothing. And he said, get up. Man, the worst player. On the field, and then Yardman said, guys, if you follow AFTV and Yardman say, yeah, not do nothing, not do nothing, not Kevin, do nothing. And I smile because everybody have an expectation for Bailey, given the level he played at. He's playing at. Right? And in his person, who is his supporter, his biggest his champion, and who supports him, that person will extol his virtues. I'm saying must start. And if he plays bad, he will point to somebody else playing bad who gave up the goal. He give up the goal. He won't say nothing about Bailey's performance when it's bad. But if he's good, then he will run around and say how great he is. I'm going to get off Bailey now by saying this. Leon Bailey, I think you would serve Jamaica best by retiring from international football. And I'm dead serious. If you retire, we can move forward and you can get your club life in order because you're having some challenge at Villa now. I see how the Villa fans are responding to you. They want you gone. Now you went to Roma and they send you back home. I have nothing against you, Leon Bailey. I think you have done phenomenally well for a person coming from your background in Jamaica. You've achieved a lot, financially and otherwise, and you should be commended for your club performances. And even for the national team, I think you have 14 goal contribution in about 40-something games. Not terrible. But your history with Jamaica, starting off when your boss or your manager was making all these comments about not playing and you had to be a package deal, and your performance over the years and through now, it hasn't worked out well. And it happened for some people. Just can't get it right. So I suggest you get your life in order as it relates to your club football. Make sure you have a good team and you get yourself back together. But I do think it's in all of our best interests. So people like myself, they'll stop criticizing you. And you can get on with your life because Jamaica can't do nothing for you, as you said. Apparently, you decide you're not doing nothing for Jamaica either. I'm not sure if I don't think it's deliberate. I think you tried really hard in the game. but your performance as based on the stats, I didn't make them up, it's not me, are as bad as I've ever seen in football. 4 of 16 duels won, 30 possession loss, 1 of 6 dribbles completed. That means you can't beat nobody. Anyway, I'm done with Bailey, people. Literally and figuratively. Let me go back to what I meant to talk about. And Maverick, who said Bailey had one of his best games, I have no idea what to say to you. If those stats are the stats you believe are great, then hey, stats don't count, people. I would say one more thing about stats. There are some teams now in sports, basketball, football, American football, soccer, who don't do nothing without stats. In fact, I think there's a French team, and even Brighton, they don't buy players. In fact, some just use stats alone to buy and sell players. Okay? So it does work. Especially people who, like Brighton owner is a bookie. Bookie's all about stats. Gambling is all about stats. But anyway, let me go to what I was going to talk about. I'll take some comments first, then go back to what I'm talking about. Get back to the real subject. Why didn't you call in today and ask your 2 questions, Kranky? No, because Leon, I'm not going to be, I refuse to be muffled or muzzled when I'm asking questions. I refuse to be told I can't ask the question the way I want to. I refuse to be told I can't preface the question or I can't pontificate. I refuse that. So I'm not going to call in because I'm going to get upset and feel dissatisfied. I'm not doing it. So I decided not to call in today. I text them. They sent me the number. I would text them to complain that they weren't doing a good job. Not calling in. The Bailey question should have been asked in a different way. And also, as I said to them the other day when I called them the other day, tone matters. If we just laugh and funny and thing, then it's not serious. A lot of people are hurting based on what transpired with the national team. I don't think it's a fun game. And by the way, some people think I have anything against Rudolph. Hell no. Rudolph is a very smart man. I'm going to get to that. Let me say that about Rudolph too, about the smart man. I'm going to get myself in trouble with this one. So this is a conspiracy theory on my part. And I don't do conspiracy theory. I asked myself the question this. Should I go? You know what? I'm not going to. I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone. It's a good conspiracy theory, but I'm not going to. Take some more comments. I'll leave it alone. We're going to leave it alone. I'll leave it alone, people. Said, I really hope I'll go to where the JFF leave reggae girls alone. The JFF made a mess. I had somebody give me some information about the reggae girls, but I'm going to leave that alone too. I don't believe the coach, Mr. Speed, is still on there. They should be off. All right, he's going to be the coach. You're going to coach the national team. Kranky, you heard the interview Billy did when they asked him if he's playing again. He said, no comment. Yeah, I have no comment either on that comment. I made my comment already. Kranky, I want Bailey and Whisper off the team. Permanent. No, I like Whisper. I think Whisper just gonna get. He's a kid. I'm not gonna bash the kid. He's young. He's impressionable, and he's been poorly guided. I think he has a bright future in football, but he got to get his act together. A lot of kids go to the wayside who have talent if they're not managed appropriately, and he needs to understand his responsibility and the accountability as related to football. He's been given a God-given talent. Use it wisely, but also get the mental part right. Kid got talent. I like the kid's game. He just gotta find it. He should never have gone to Chelsea. I've said this numerous times. Go find a team, maybe a lower level team, get yourself together, get regular playing time, show your worth, and you'll elevate and the money will come. Can compare Bailey and Campbell stats that game. I did. I think Campbell had 20-something touches. He made 15 passes. He had about 10 turnovers. So the numbers were probably half Bailey's actually. But I could show them. I did compare the stats. I compared all the stats. I did everybody's stats. I did Pinnock's stat, 102 touches, and less kick away than King at 77 touches. He had 24 lost possession, and he had 4 of 19 in long passes. I did Lattice touches. I did Hayden, who only had 7 possessions lost, and touched the ball about 70-something times. Hayden always had great stats. And by the way, Jamaica's only lost 1 game with Hayden being on the field. Let me say this again. Jamaica's only lost 1 game. I thought it was 0, but it's 1 game, and that was against U.S., when Hayden was on the field. And that was probably the coach doesn't know what he was doing. Once a Kranky, don't get me wrong. I want all two-way players on the team. It's just we have a lot of players like Bailey. They only play one way. Oh, no. I think Mason Clark plays 2 ways. Tyrese Campbell plays 2 ways. I think Norman Campbell probably plays 2 ways, even though I don't know why they put on Norman Campbell in the position they did. He's a winger. He's not a midfielder. What else? Yes, so we're going Ted Dexter. That was my plan for tonight, but I get distracted. So it's gonna be a long show, people. It's gonna be a long show. That was my plan for today, Ted Dexter. We're gonna go through it. No. He's never played this badly. You guys are confusing something, you know. You guys are confusing effort with effectiveness and outcome, positive outcome. It was his worst game ever for Jamaica. It was his worst game in football. He could not have played a worse game. If he did, then he would not be where he is. You guys are look at the running around and the touches he got. He probably got more touches than a lot of the other forwards. He took one decent shot. He had a header that chip off his head. That's why Maverick said he was the best offensive player. I don't know. If one shot and a chip off your head makes you the best offensive player. Let me see what Kranky, you keep saying Speed is very smart. You're being to sound like Mark Anthony's speech at the Julius. Here's the thing what people don't realize about me. I give credit in a way. This is you know. I give credit. Even if the smartness may not be for the right purpose, I'm going to give you credit. When people think I beat Bailey and I beat this person, what they hear is their bias about how I sound. So they give me no credit when I give credit. They only criticize me when I don't give credit and I criticize. But if they look into it really well, they'll see that in a lot of instances, the flowers are given when they're warranted and the criticism is warranted. I'll give you an example. I said Pinnock should be in the team because he's not playing on football. So he's on my team. Pinnock was one of our best players, if not our best player in the game. Maybe he and Blake. He deserves his credit. He showed, as Rudolph Speid said, and Rudolph Speid always say this, which is, if you're at the Premier League level, you're always prepared. And the game before, when he came into play, because he hadn't played all season, he played brilliantly for Brentford. So you know what? I was wrong on that. And I'll take my licks on that. And somebody called me today and said, apologize. And I said, yeah, you're right. Right? Because I believe that that frequency of play matters. Because you can't replicate game in practice. And Pinnock showed you that maybe otherwise in Premier League, they do keep you prepared. Kranky, I heard most of the players are considering retiring. Is that our loss or their loss? Let me say something, people. What I'm thinking that. Are they retiring because they think it's time? Are they retiring because they're frustrated? Why are they retiring? We got to understand that. Give me 1 second, people. We got to understand that. Why are they retiring? I have to take this time out in the people. Excuse me. I'm a little bit under the weather as usual. Why are they retiring, people? Please explain to me why they're retiring. I mean, if you're based in England and you play for Jamaica, and given the JFF always focus on the locally born players, given the Mavericks of the world who have influence always knocking you, given those local fans, one of whom don't want you, especially one based locally, don't want you in the team, you may not decide you don't want to fly 9 hours all the time, away from your family, you can take some rest in international windows to come play some football for a country don't appreciate you. I can understand that. If you're a young player like Tyrese Hall, your career just starting, you know, and Bailey Cadamarter, you don't have that option. So if you're Bobby Reed, if you're a Pinnock, if you are Damian Lowe, if you're even Blake, who knows? We don't have a replacement for Blake, though. Let me say this again, people. Everybody in life is replaceable. Every single person is replaceable. It's all about timing. Is the timing right? Everybody's replaceable. So if somebody's going to retire and they're going to hurt the country, somebody's behind you saying, please retire so I can take your spot. That's how it is. It may not be as good as you, but life's going to go on. Life's going to go on. So retire. Okay, let's get into the show now. That was a preface. That was the start. That was an introduction. So from dream to disaster. The story of Jamaica's 2026 World Cup campaign. So we're going to go back in history. I don't have any pictures. I don't have any videos. I wanted to have that in a people and do a comprehensive show, but I didn't have time to do all of that. I was busy trying to get my tax information because I haven't gone to my tax man yet. Even though I should be doing it myself, but I'm not going to do it. I did my niece tax return. I did my nephew tax return. I say, it may take too much time. I have YouTube for though. I'm going to lose some money on YouTube. In fact, probably I spend money I pay for my tax return than from YouTube, so I'm probably double it up. Kranky, Butler not smart, love, because I never hear you give him any credit. That's a lie. I've given him credit. See, that's what I'm talking about. I've given him credit. I've given him credit. Here's the thing, people. When they come and say anything about me, may have receipts. Let me say that again. I may call him toxic boss, but may have receipts. One thing I always have are receipts. Don't come say Kranky, don't say nothing. I have receipts. All right? Let me hear this. Wait. What rubbish. The local players create more discrimination than those born overseas. Most fans give overseas a bye when they're not performing. Wow. This is exactly what I'm talking about, people. Exactly what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This bunch of garbage, what I'm talking about. Kevin, pure garbage. Go listen to the talk shows. Pure garbage. Pure garbage. I move on. Pure garbage. That's all I'll say. Anyway, let me go back to my little soliloquy. So the 2026 World Cup campaign, let me say this from the beginning, people. Not making the World Cup was not bad luck. This was not just about football. This was a system failure. Because when you trace this journey, when you look at this journey, people, from Hogrimson, who joined us, who took Iceland to beat England in 2016, took Iceland in the Euro, did really well. When you look at that the way we are today, you see the same pattern. Instability, poor leadership, inadequate structure, and ultimately, no level of accountability, and frankly, no goddamn shame. So today, we're not guessing, we're not speculating about any of this. We're going to break through this step by step. You hear, what's his name? What was it? Someone in the chat just said, I missed the name, sorry, I apologize, that I should go do the historical 4-year look back. That's what we're going to do, and then move forward. We're going to talk about what we need to fix it. If I have time, I may have to do another show. That's going to be a little bit long. Let's start at the beginning with Hogrimson. Because this is where we sort of made our first mistake. Off the field, not on the field. Hogrimson actually overachieved by a great deal. Let's deal with facts. He beat Canada in the Nations League after losing at home and had the foresight, whether it was influence or not, to put the destroyer Damian Lowe on the field to play his first and hope, play his last, probably last game at midfield, because I don't think he should go back there, where he was a one-man wrecking machine and played the most dominant game in Jamaica's football history by any player in my lifetime, and only did it in one half of a game. Totally put fear defensively in a team and allowed this team and enabled this team to beat Canada and get to the Nations League semifinal. And Hogrimson oversaw that. He beat Panama in a third place game, and we hadn't beaten Panama in a while. Came to us during COVID, kick our butt at home, beat us in the last Gold Cup. I was kicking our butt of late. He beat Panama. Brilliant goal scored by Lembakisa. I was there to witness it. Brilliant day. He took the US to extra time. And the last time we played US, subsequent to him, under the new coach, well, not the new coach, but under McClaren, I was there in St. Louis. We got totally annihilated and destroyed. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But he took them to extra time. And in fact, we should have won that game. Two situations we could have won that game. Before Burke gave up that inadvertent goal in the last kick of the game, Cephas had a one-on-one with Turner, and he bushed it. I'm not causing Cephas because he created that goal by his speed. He ran by the last defender. Could have been Richards, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it wasn't Richards. Maybe it's Reem, one of them. And he should have scored a goal, and would have been up 2-0, and the game would have been over. And what I was impressed when I was watching that game is I was really focused on the defense, especially Lati, and they were brilliant, and Blake was exceptional. They should have won that game. And unfortunately, Burke came on as a substitute, and he had the inadvertent header that went to the goal. They went on to beat us 3-1. But he showed, Hogrimson showed something. I went to their practice when they were out in I think they was in Dallas. And that goal that was scored by Greg Lee was what they practiced. Throw it down the line, head it over to the far post, Greg Lee scored it. It was by design. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't by some luck. It was by design. And his organization, and they'll kick us out of practice, we got some semblance of what they were doing, the organization defensively, the continuous movement of the defense, well organized, well structured. Did we have complaints about Hogrimson sometimes? Yes. He's a very defensive coach, was a very defective coach. And we were concerned and upset about what happened in Copa, but the teams were just better than us. Hogrimson understood structure sometimes can be talent. He did it against Canada, against Panama, and against the US. And he did it with Iceland in the Euros. And he was doing it with Jamaica. But what happened? He got frustrated. I was told this: interference, lack of support, logistical breakdown, challenges in naturalizing players. Now, Rudolph has come out and said, I need some water, people. By the way, people, you don't know something get upset button. Hit the like button, hit the like button. If you don't like the program, hit it. If you don't like the program, don't hit the like button. If you like the program, hit the like button. All right? Hit the like button. Now, Hogrimson left, and what we were told was that he left because Rudolph said this. I didn't make this up. And one thing I'm mad at myself about is I need to capture some of these tidbits so it's a person speaking, not me paraphrasing them. He said Hogrimson left because he lost the game against Canada. I'm still trying to digest that because we beat Canada in Canada and went to the Nation League. So how can him losing the game against Canada would be the rationale for him leaving? And then excuse me, I'm confused. Are we just a bunch of you-know-what morons? We ain't got no brain? We are stupid? We can't analyze nothing? Our international coach, a dentist by profession, very smart man, who beat Canada, went to the Nations League, decided to leave, left because he lost at home to Canada. I am sure we can do better than that. I'm sure when you're going out in the public domain and providing a perspective as to what transpired, you can concoct something which have more credence to it, more believability, can be digested. Why would I lose a game, then win a game, jump over that team, play in a tournament, they're gone home, and I left because I lost the previous game? That circular discussion is confusing as hell. Hey, Rudolph, please get brave and come on my program. I know I can be difficult sometimes, and I know you like the nice, warm environment you operate in. But I'm putting out in the public domain, Rudolph. I'm not unprofessional when I interview people, because Rudolph People was my first interview ever. First interview. And he was up 2 o'clock in the morning and gracious enough to give me an interview. And then he just cut me off. I'm saying, first of all, Rudolph and I used to have contentious battle on YouTube, right? But because Rudolph says something, sometimes you have to pull him up. There's some things that make no sense. Like this one. I won't believe it. It's like when Rudolph came and said that John Wall couldn't do multiple jobs at once, so he had to reassign him to be the national team. And then John Wall got sued him at FIFA, so unfair dismissal, and then never pay off John Wall. And we believe them things, Rudolph. Some people call him Rudolph, because we're not idiot. Well, maybe we are idiot, because we all suffer. Hogrimson was asked to operate unprofessionally. Or to operate professionally in a system which is unprofessional. So he left. People say never like the food in live at Jamaica. I was in a contract. In Jamaica was hot as we think it is. We think Jamaica the best thing about sliced bread. People from other locations don't think so. But nobody can tell me that. We think we have the best food. We think we are the best in everything. Best food, we have the best weather, we have the best country, we have the best beaches, we have the best everything. We're the best. We're the fastest, we're the brightest. That's what we think. So if anybody have the audacity to say, no, I mean, I really like your food, no, we lose our mind. We didn't lose a coach, we lost a system. Because we're not playing identity now. At least Hogrimson against a better team, just play a low block and then try to score and then lock it down. And then after Hogrimson left, and we're giving all these stories, Rudolph saying no, said she can go leave. Chung saying no one knows him go leave. Then JFF can't get them stories straight. And then McClaren was hired, even though Steve Bruce same thought him had the job. So we were going for dinosaurs. Now, Steve McClaren, when he was hired, 433 Presser, who was in the chat earlier, was scathing in his perspective about us hiring McClaren. And many people like me thought he went a little bit too far. But frankly, he may not have gone far enough. Man with a brolly, the man who couldn't take England to the Euros, the man who the English press totally destroyed, the man who would never had a head coach job, I imagine, a long time. The man who won one title in his career against FC20. He did coach at Middlesbrough and Derby and a bunch of other teams. I was at Ten Hag when they failed thing at Man U and they won a couple of trophies. He was hired, and we were told what a brilliant hire it is. We're told they had a slate of coaches who want the job. They have all this litany of coaches. And they went with a lazy hire. And the architect of this, the person who was the architect who oversee this and did what they called the recommendation was Rudolph Speid. So now Rudolph will come in a lot of different areas. Rudolph is head of the technical committee. At least he was, or he's not going to assume the role anymore. Okay, took time off when he became interim coach. He oversaw the hiring of McClaren. And by the way, McClaren worked with Speid during COVID on the sort of TDS project, the project where FIFA is trying to help develop football in countries working with youths. McClaren was part of that. He was one of the FIFA liaison. So it was actually, I talked about it way back when. I have receipts. It was a lazy hire. Unbelievably lazy hire. Many people weren't pleased, but hey, man had a resume. He was a coach in England. He's English, blah, blah, blah. And he said when he came, he was going to play modern football. Man, I have no idea what modern means. He's going to play. By the way, people, the like button feels lonely. It needs some help. It needs some love. So give the like button some love. Press the like button. So here's where we go with Speid. Speid hired Hogrimson. Good hire. So give him credit. Good hire in Hogrimson. But then Hogrimson couldn't work with the JFF because of what I was told. Part of it was lack of support and interference. Certain players, they want Hogrimson to play. Hogrimson said they're not good enough, they can't be on the team. That wasn't received well. By the way, that's a fact. Not speculation, not conjecture, fact. Okay? And you can't guess who. Then we went to McClaren. No proper recruitment process to hire a coach. No due diligence. No strategic alignment. This was all relationship-based. No merit-based. I have been involved in recruiting people. A lot. Done a 1,000,001 interview. And sometimes you get resumes, which are beautiful and pretty, and you dig deep to make sure the resume marry with the person and what they've accomplished. And you do scenario analysis. You do a lot of assessment. None of that was done. No identity. We're told we're going to play modern football. We saw none. We have no idea what McClaren was trying to do. No system, no structure, no identity. He was supposed to be the embodiment and be embedded in Jamaica. He wasn't. You cannot lead a national team remotely. I don't care how much you play them overseas. If we bring into Jamaica and you have this experience, then we want you to help. Oh, by the way, Colin Quest, as usual, supporting the channel. Colin helped me pay down on them expenses I incur. Colin, thank you, sir. He says, Speid only hire coaches he can control. Colin said that. When he hired Hogrimson, he couldn't control Hogrimson. So it's not only one he can control, or maybe it was that he tried later. Now, there were some people in the chat going to make some comments I'm going to ignore because I'm on my soliloquy and I have time to deal with the nonsense. Some people thought about said, why, what coach could he afford? We wouldn't know because no due diligence was done. If you can afford McClaren and you can afford Hogrimsson, you can afford some other coach. Sorry. The coach from, and by the way, we're going to get into the whole coaching thing in the current environment. People say me under the weather a little bit, so now forgive me, So me click off on my thing. Now forgive me. I went to, I went, and I catch cold, I'm a vex. I mean, let me go back there. I tell you the truth. Some days me go every 2 weeks and me vex, bad. Because I know the person have cold and the person still I do what I'm doing and I'm have cold. Not a good thing. Not a good thing, people. You have to do that. You have your cold, stay in your yard. You hear me? If you have cold, stay in your yard, I'll wear a mask. Don't give nobody else a cold. It's not a good thing. Anyway, let me stop whining about the cold. My system is messing up now. Sorry, everyone. My system is messing up. I'm trying to get it right. Okay, so McClaren, who came on board, there were a couple of reasons to hire McClaren. One was supposedly his resume. Two was he's from England, so he supposedly know the players, and was going to bring in people like Mason Greenwood. I'll bring in Mason Greenwood. We'll talk about that a little bit. He was supposed to be in Jamaica. Hogrimson was supposed to be in Jamaica. Hogrimson never liked Jamaica, so he go back in my yard. You know, Hogrimson go out Ireland, say Ireland is similar to where him come from. I don't know how him get that, because there's no similarity. But anyway, only thing that the people them white in both countries. McClaren came in. Remember we had Nations League game against the US in St. Louis? I went to the game. From that game on, and by the way, in that game, he asked for, I think he brought in Ravel late, never gave him 1 minute to run. I know me vex about that, right? Me have you up in them thing there. Come a baller. Me have you up. I went to the game. I was sitting on the side of the field where Robinson from the US was playing. He's playing left back. And McGee was playing the attacking midfielder. And what they did was they played Robinson in the inverted, and Robinson was free for the entire game. And they had us down 3-0 in no time. And at no point, and I was sitting behind the coaches, up in the stands, but sitting behind the coaching area, McClaren just looked lost. At no point did he realize, you know what? I made it to take Maggie out of the game and get my AM to Mark Robinson or find a way to negate him because he's killing us. He's over there with Weah and Pulisic and they're just running riot and we have no answer for them. I got to change something up. Either I go more low block, mid block, or I bring somebody to mark him and reduce the pressure. Nothing. And I sat there steaming. Like, what the hell is this? Who is this moron? What is he doing? He's not doing anything. And I'm there in the stand cussing and people look at me like a madman because I'm sitting in one section. I was there with someone and it was mainly Americans, people around me, no Jamaican, we know Jamaican. And me I cuss and get vexed and why is Robinson running? Who got Mark Robinson? Walk over Robinson. Who are this? Nothing. You know, make no change. We came back and scored 2 goals, but they were too late. From then on, I said to myself, well, I'm thinking I'm doing a star. I had doubts before. I never wanted him before, but no, I said to myself, I said, no, sir. The man I know him, I do. This year, or last year, we went to the Gold Cup. We struggled in another game, struggled against St. Vincent, struggled with some other team, but Nation League game, we never forced ourselves. We went to the Gold Cup, people, with 2 midfielders. Yours truly, so I'm going to beat my chest and take credit. Yours truly was the first person I heard, so maybe me only I hear myself, who called out that we only had 2 midfielders. You know why I knew? And anybody said they knew, I lied them I tell. Somebody pinched me and tell me, say, Hayden was not going to be here. He had to go back to Europe from club. Somebody pinched me and tell me that. We knew Bobby Reid was injured. And we know Busy Atkinson not really no midfielder. You know, he can't play the attacking midfielder. Really midfielder. So we had 2 midfielders. We went to a tournament with 2 midfielders. How can this man coach a team? How can coach a team? And even went to the Unity Cup. Somebody pinched me and tell me some things but we can't talk about. What happened there? It was not favorable. Now, it was a time when we went to the Unity Cup. I think it was the time that Rudolph came involved as the technical advisor. I think that's what it was. Or was it after the World Cup? But he went to Europe. I was saying that King would get transferred, so maybe he went there for the King training, but he was in Europe with them. Then when he came back, I think it was after the Gold Cup, he became the technical advisor. So Rudolph got involved, not only as the person who hired McClaren, but now very close to him to oversee what was happening and provide advice and to assist, not insist. Now in the Gold Cup, people went there with 2 midfielders and we got slaughtered. It was embarrassing. We played a Guatemala team, and I went to Jamaica to watch the game because I thought Mason Green was coming to Jamaica. So I have to go when Mason Green come, turn up, we play Guatemala, and we look good and we feel good. What we didn't realize about Guatemala played possum. They took out 7 of their best players and played with them scrub team. We beat them 3-0. Jamaica was happy. We happy. A PR thing. We broadcast the game from the stadium. Life is great. And then we played the Night World Cup and them running off of the field. Because we were playing possum. We were poor. And then we played a 2 other game. Lose on the Panama. Win the other one, but we scratch our teeth, or what you want to call it. Barely win against what? We should lose that game too. My name is open goal. So we left the Gold Cup and I said, McClaren has to be fired. Have receipts on that. Has to be fired. Can't survive. And Rudolph maintained him. Rudolph didn't fire him. Now Rudolph will say, well, I don't make decision autonomously. I have to be supported by the JFF and they're the board, and you recommend him to be fired. Did you recommend him to be fired, Rudolph? He should have been fired. There's no way he should have continued. None. He was clueless. He showed you so many times in games before the Gold Cup, he was clueless. And then his selection for the Gold Cup was unbelievable. He didn't know the players. The man, I kept saying this during my telecast. The man he's retired. He just collected a paycheck. And he was proven over and over and over and over again. And we still sit down there, watch the thing. I brought down, I will not do not about it. McClaren was awful, beyond awful. Didn't go to games. I was just call it out. He's not going on game. Is later on, way in the process, Mr. hear about White Scout. No go no game, go watch and play. I see Tuchel in stand, I see Pochettino in stand. Pochettino coach US in that. Europe, we never see McClaren any place. And the JFF, in their brilliance, maintain him, keep him. You don't know the players. Marion Gordon is pick the team. Where's Marion Gordon? Rudolph, JFF. Where's Marion Gordon? Marion Gordon was under Hogrimson. Marion Gordon was good enough for Hogrimson, good enough for McClaren, not good enough for Speed. You make it one cost bad one. How does that work? Why is Marion Gordon good enough for 2 foreign-born coaches? Because we start using them foreign-born thing nowadays, But it's not good enough for the local coaches who know him best. And Marion Gordon was picking the players he wants to pick and letting out certain players. Why is that? Does that make any sense to anybody? And then let's touch about Greenwood a little bit. Greenwood never come. Greenwood, so this is when we get in that trouble. And all vexed with me. Greenwood, and some people me know, they more vexed with me. I'm not going to say me not care, but me not care. Greenwood used Jamaica. For whatever reason, he used Jamaica. Greenwood approached the JFF to get him visa and get his citizenship. And when they got it, him not do nothing but coming. Not changing allegiance, nothing. Greenwood and his people used Jamaica for whatever reason and dismiss me. And we should never go back for Greenwood. Now, if Greenwood had gotten his citizenship on his own volition, not through JFF, then yeah, it's his prerogative. He has heritage. But when you're using the organization and people are putting their hopes on you, then you know what? He should not be playing any football for Jamaica ever. I don't care how good you are. That's my stance. Now I change it. The kid, I hope he's successful in his career. Hope he plays well for Marseille. Hope he goes on and get a bigger club and do brilliantly. Everybody is replaceable. Everybody dispensable. I'm sorry. But when you play with people's emotions, not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Now, it may not be the kid. It may be his handlers. But he's a grown-ass man. He's about 24 years old. I know he went through some trauma and it's still going on. But I can't sit here and say, yes, you need to come. I know Speed talk about, it's the last minute I bring him. No, we're not having that. We're not having that. No, we're not having that. Greenwood, stay away there, my youth. I wish you the best of luck. I hope you do brilliantly, but not come play for my country. Stay away there. Stay away there. Because we love, some Jamaican people that talk about commitment and nonsense. People in African people, them like talk about commitment, pure shit in my chat. Pure nonsense in my chat. And go with them nonsense about commitment. When I fly 10 hours here and then fly go Mexico and then play football and can't walk and if you talk about them committed, go on nonsense. All them to play football because you know what? It does something for them and their family, it does something for the country. And some of them more committed than locally born players. Who didn't grow up in the culture. You look like you never got foreign yet. Because the man might rise and peace 24/7. I play reggae music 24/7. I talk Jamaican. Everybody want to be Jamaican. What you talk about? To be Jamaican is cool. We all know that. So that's nonsense you talk. But let's keep on with McClaren. You went to go with two midfielders. No adjustment. No contingency plan. Incompetence at his best. And after failing at the Gold Cup, Rudolph Speid and the JFF kept him on. That decision falls squarely with the Jamaica Football Federation to retain a coach who it was easier to qualify for the World Cup than not to qualify. Let me repeat that. It was easier to qualify for the World Cup than not to qualify. You had to have a blunderer fail this, and that's what happened. As a leader and a manager, you have to know when to act, and they didn't. And let's look at under McClaren how things work. We didn't create a lot of chances. We didn't have a lot of great possession. Build-up play was inconsistent. And if we go to the DR Congo game, which more recently occurred, we had more possession, but the keeper could have been on the beach, a drink of soda around coconut because he's not getting no tests. None. 120 minutes, one shot on target. That's that poor performance. That's system failure. And then me here, Rudolph, you give me a hard time, Rudolph. You cuss me, but Rudolph, you talk like we win the game, Rudolph. Jesus Christ. If me come from Mars, I'm here, Rudolph, talk about the game. We win the game. Rudolph is the best coach on the planet. We win the game. I text Rudolph this. I thought we played well, and I was proud of Rudolph on the team. But Rudolph, we don't win the game. We don't win the game. We lose. You talk about like we win. You can't do this rounds in the media circle. Rudolph talk like we win. But you make yourself look good, but Lord, Rudolph, man. We feel like we're an idiot. Sorry for those of you who may not understand Patois, because I was told I'm speaking spokey. Sometimes I have to revert to my native language to substantiate, justify, and authenticate my Jamaicanness. So I don't be told that I'm speaking spokey or I'm trying to be speaking English, which I don't really understand and can't articulate. So you have to see with me. I have a chat some patois sometimes. So them feels good and say, boy, yeah, man, authentic. So even though I'm not authentic, I'm not born in Jamaica. But you know that go. I said, English man don't understand Jamaica, we're not committed. The administration, and let's be clear, the biggest issue in Jamaica football is the electoral process. It's flawed. And when the process is flawed, you never get the best people. You get the most connected people, not the most capable. It's a flawed process. It's run by the people who run the JFF and the parish president them. And once the wrong people are in leadership, every decision that follows becomes flawed. Just think about the process. We have about 50-something people involved in that process. Enough JPL team, parish president here and there. Any football organization, you know the last time somebody go create an organization and oversee another one so they can get vote. Some man go orchestrate some things, set up president and vice president and leadership team, orchestrate the vote so they can get the vote. Manipulate the process. You have a board which is sort of non-functional. The coaching search, managed by a few people. The most of them have consensus thing. If you bring somebody to come in, we disagree because you did the due diligence. No challenge, no effective challenge in the process. No effective scrutiny. Nobody will push back really hard. If you want to go to coaching selection, no structured process, relationship-based decision. You want to go to recruiting, no formal scouting network, no pipeline in key areas to bring people to the process. Are people like Devon Porter and people that when people DM go get people to come in, they don't have no structure for recruit. When people talk about recruiting and you bring the wrong players and the players come in, they're not gonna. The JFF not gonna recruit players because the JFF is conflicted. They're conflicted in that if they're gonna recruit players, they're gonna replace local players. And I hear, and part of the structure being put in place by the JFF now is that they have a policy for selection. That's one of the most flawed policies I've ever seen, to be honest. I like the criteria that takes performance as a basis for selection, one of the key components of it. But to talk about you're in the top 20 league in the world, you have a contract. How many locally developed players have contract in the top 20 leagues in the world? Please tell me, in the last 10, 15, 20 years, we have that litany, that amount of local players who have contract with top 20 teams in the world that can then be considered for the national team? Now, there's a catch there where they put in to allow themselves to get away with that. So I'm not sure what that entails, what they're trying to achieve, but it says, oh, you know, by the way, if you've played for the regular boys before, you can come in. And if you play in the top league in that country, you can come in. So if you play, let's say you play for the 21st league in the world, never play for the regular boys, and the 21st league is not the top league in that country. That means you're not eligible for selection. No? So let's, for example, say you're playing at USL. Let's say USL is a 21st ranked team, right? Better than JPL. And you score goal in a JPL like in a USL like nothing. And when in a JPL like Fuller, who have 5 goals in about 20 games, and you score 15 in 15, him eligible, you're not eligible. Because you never play for Jamaica yet. And you don't play that top 20 team in the world. And you never contract with that top 20 team. Does that make sense to anybody? And then they might cost Kranky this and I'm smart. I don't mean smart. It's like call it what me say. So that policy needs to be revisited. It's not subject to scrutiny. And when you don't have effective challenge around you, you won't know these things. You have nobody to challenge and say, no, that don't make no sense, my youth. You ever thought about this? That not happen. There's no effective challenge. People just go along with the status quo. Talk about naturalization. When Rudolph came in, to his credit, people. And when somebody put a soliloquy, a long one attack. We're not in a call business yet. Me tell them if you call. Come on, man, do better than that, man. Go through the thing first. We go through the history first. When we come, we talk, we call, and then we go back to what we do to fix it. Naturalization, people. No efficient system. Players frustrated. Coach frustrated. Naturalization process is not a good one. Rudolph did a good job when he came in. He got 3 players in. Didn't work out as well. Probably need them earlier so they can get more acclimated. But those, you hear, them get naturalized. You hear Andre Brooks think about naturalization. You hear Efran Mason Clark. You hear Tyrese. By the way, Tyrese was naturalized 2-3 years ago. Couldn't get in the under 20 team. And then play for the national team. Even though he might just 20, got 21 this year. You make sense of that. It was part of the 14 players that we tell to go, as Maverick would say. Players are frustrated. Coaches frustrated. System no work. Resources, come and go. When Chung was in, him restrict things. Now that Chung gone, we show money just a flow. Communication, poor. And when communication breaks down, performance breaks down. You can't run elite football with amateur governance. When some people cost me and say, boy, Kranky, I thought you're going to change. And no, I go through history. History may go through, so just bear with me now. Go back over this again. History may go through. Let's go a little bit deeper, people. Because it's not just the process. It's the people that the process produces. Are the people in leadership qualified? Do they have the right skill sets? Do they have the track record? Do they have more recent accomplishments that you can leverage to say, you know what, they can do the job? Not 20 years ago like McClaren. No. Have they built anything? I remember when they had the runoff a couple of years ago for JFF presidency. And I hated this, but Raymond was running. I used to be on Menzies channel then. And Raymond was in the JFF for over 20 years. And when I challenged him about what has he accomplished, can't give me one thing. Wasn't a comfortable conversation for me. And that's why I supported the administration, because I couldn't see where the opposition was going to do a better job. And you have to keep what you know versus replacing them. Now, some people come back like Kettler and give me a hard time. It's a bad decision. I still think if your leader, if your soon-to-be president can articulate what he has done in 20 years in the organization, really? Why ain't going to do it in 4 years? Now, if you talk to the JFF, they'll say, the president overseeing the best time in Jamaica football history is the most successful president in the history. So let's break that down. We had success with the women's team who have been to 2 World Cups. But a lot of credit doesn't go to the JFF. The JFF and the girls had major issues throughout the entirety of that process. They must get some credit because they're in the play, but they didn't get credit by default. Not because of proactive management. Right? The team hired Hogrimson, which they should commended on, and he went to Copa. Didn't do well, but to get to Copa, you have to be one of the top 4 teams. So they should commended on that. The under-20 team is now in the second round, the last round. So more recent success, the under-20 team, the under-17 team is now in the World Cup. And they're sure putting that forward. But here's my problem with all of this. When the team fails, we don't see nobody from JFF. They go hide. When the under-20 team got 15 love, nobody not come out and say anything. When they achieve something, their chest is out and you can hear them 24/7. It's loud. You can hear on the mountaintop. So like Martin Luther King praise themselves. When they fail, nobody comes out and do a post-mortem and talk to the fans about it. So they only take credit for success. They don't take the repercussions and accountability for when they fail. The under-17 team didn't make the World Cup last year. The World Cup is set up now where anybody who have any modicum of talent, and it's much easier than 3 years ago to make the World Cup, much easier. They increased the number of teams significantly. You only have to win 3 games now in the World Cup. Before, you have to go through the first round, second round, and third round. For the 17. Not the first time we're making a 17 World Cup, but first in a long time. The under-20 team, who I hear Rudolph says they've never seen a team so destroy other teams. Both of those teams, and I've seen them and I've watched them, especially in the 20, can't pass the ball. And the 20 team bully people. So when they get to the next round, I play a team like the US or Mexico, they might bully them. Can't make 3 passes. When the under 17 played and beat Canada, they're up in the first half. Second half, they couldn't make 3 passes. And then we are hearing espousing the vouchers of how great these coaches are who coach them. They're getting better, still can't pass the ball. And here's the dire thing about Jamaica football. The dire thing. It's not only Jamaica football, but the dire thing. We can point to one very good midfielder that's coming out of Jamaica or is coming out of Jamaica recently. Can't point to one. Not one. Bunch of forward can run up and down, bunch of defender, even goalkeeper can't pass for one midfielder. The midfield is the engine of your team. And if you tell me how great the coaches are, if you can't develop midfielder, to me, you can't coach. Let me say that again, people. If you can't develop midfielders, which is the engine of your team, where you have to use this cranium more than anything else, me can't trust you as coach. Trust me. You can't coach. All the midfielders we had on the field the other day, none were developed in Jamaica. Casey Palmer, Hayden, Bobby Reed, Frey, Latty, Hall, Anderson. Merrick was there. He wasn't on the field. I think he was the only midfielder from Jamaica, locally born, who was there in the squad. We can't produce midfielder. The reason why Spain's so good, because they produce them like an assembly line. So when you hear about this great coaching and how now they have badges, I agree with Rudolph about the fact that, you know what? The coaching must have improved because they're not getting educated. They have a theory and they have practical. Can't produce midfielder. None. Even the great one we talk about, the toxic boss, we produce 2 players, produce 2 winger, 2 right winger, no midfielder. When you see a great coach and can't produce midfielder, you can't be a great coach. Because midfield use this, along with technical skills, and this are the core components of a midfielder. Now they run up and down, not just legs. If you have a brain out there, if a footballer make 3,000 decisions in a 90-minute match, a midfielder probably make more, because that's average for footballers. You have to make 5 decisions, some of them in one player, 6 in one player, 7 in one player before the ball get to you. If you produce great midfielders, you have to have this and the technical skill. You have to be able to think your way through a situation and be orchestrating, especially if you play CDM, because you're the conductor. So when you talk about the great coaching we have in Jamaica, and you have 20 do this, under 17 do this, I see no midfielder up on the field, I say, you know what? He's special. None. Some big forward, run over people, score goal. That's the midfielder. And the technical ability of those players, it needs a lot of work. Now let's talk about another failure. We're going through history, people. Going through history. So we talked about Hogrimson. We talked about McClaren. Let's talk about Rudolph Speid. Like my coach, the last coach. You may have 3 things in front of me now. See 3 people you have? 3 coaches them. Rudolph Speid took over the thing. Rudolph Speid has been involved. Rudolph Speid touched the entire Jamaica football. Rudolph Speid run Jamaica football. Let's be honest. Him run it. President is a figurehead. Love the president as a nice person, but he's not a leader. I mean, he's not going to call me again. Him not take me call him no more. But Prezi, me have to tell the truth, Prezi. Me a hypocrite, me not tell the truth. You're not a lead Prezi. I mean, so when you cross Prezi cross you off. So I'm just going to get cross off. When Prezi see me last time, I see him, the man hugged me up. The man was brilliant. Love me, Prezi. But Prezi, me have to call you out, Prezi. Me sorry, me have to call you out. Prezi, you're not a lead. And somebody tell me today, yesterday said, well, if you cross Prezi, you get cross off. So me just get cross off. So me not bad things. So me just be, me always straight anyways. But me not top my mind. Rudolph Speid run Jamaica football. Rudolph, I told me, I tell you, I told me, I tell Rudolph. Rudolph, the president of Cavalier. I go with history doing the people. History lesson, then we go to the solution. Him run Cavalier football. He my sports director for Cavalier. I'm the Cavalier coach. I'm the Cavalier owner. He was the JFF technical committee chair. He's part of the board. Now he wants to be the coach for the national team. And he's going to spread out on Sports Max and saying, he want to be the coach. It's no longer a secret. Now here's a question I ask myself. Rudolph, you're very smart. But even me can't believe you're so smart. I drink some water. Let me come drop that one now. Can't believe you're so smart, Rudolph. Now after this, Rudolph will never talk to me again. Rudolph will beat me. If he might text me and cuss me out after this, but me have to say this. Here's a question. So Rudolph says he's a nationalist. And Rudolph says it's all about the country, he's a patriot. Me ask Rudolph some question. Can you not come on my channel some interviews? Me have to go straight forward. Because he may come on my channel, we have some difficult conversation. Rudolph, a couple of things. I believe, so let's go to Rudolph. Rudolph came in, interim coach. I didn't like how he did when he first started out. I think he should have had Zoom calls, bring people together, have conversations. He didn't. And now he says they are the best camp ever. Kumbaya, we have vibes. When McClaren was here, McClaren talked about we have enough vibes too. Because vibes is winner, because we lose. Rudolph had his hands and fingers in everything. He did. If you talk to Rudolph, we all own it. So when things are run good, Rudolph run it. When it not run good, everybody own it. You can't live to Rudolph. Either you own it or you don't own it. At every point. Rudolph, Mr. Speed, as many call him, I prefer his first name, was the person responsible for bringing in Hogrimson, great hire, and McClaren, awful hire, so net to 0. Right? That's 0. Because we don't make World Cup, it's even less than 0. Because I think Hogrimson gets us the World Cup. Hogrimson didn't go World Cup, by the way. He go Ireland, still losing that playoff. So he didn't go World Cup either. So Hogrimson lost out, and we lost out. We both end up nowhere. Rudolph then became technical advisor. I assume you can become technical advisor because they never trust McClaren. And then you see a boss decides, you know what? You have to go watch the man 24/7. You don't trust him, so why not fire him? If you don't trust him, Rudolph, why didn't you fire him? Nobody. I would never like to have my boss look over my shoulder. And then my boss says, I was here to assist, not insist. I don't want to cause some bad word, but if you cause a bad word, start. I'm not telling a lie. I'm going to cause bad word regular, you know. You're here to insist, but you are the boss. So you mean, what you talk about? It's like a Teflon done thing. Nothing can stick. What do you mean you're here to assist and not insist? What do you mean? You're the boss. Boss always insists. I don't understand. So wait, when things don't go good, you can't say, boy, I know me. And if some things go, you say, boy, I was on board, you know. I was there overseeing, so my guidance would change direction. But I understand that. I'm here to assist and not insist. And assist we all the way to not getting in the World Cup. Yeah? So in essence, Rudolph was technical advisor. When they went to go up with two midfielder, Rudolph was there now. Then Rudolph went on Maverick show and said, I will not do that, you know. The man that do that. Really, Rudolph? You get the list long before. You did it with them. I picked the team. Must be seeing the team. You don't say we can't go with two midfielder. That make no sense to me. But like Teflon Don, hey, I wasn't there. It's not me. Okay. Rudolph then rallied the troops to play against a difficult Congo team. We had to go to New Caledonia first. Rudolph did a brilliant job of recruiting. Right? Brilliant job of recruiting. As good as it could be. He got 3 players. There were about 4 other players to come in, including Louis Baker, but he was injured. They tried to get Keenan Davis, had some problems there. Max Aaron should have come in, but that didn't work out. Max will come later, though, by the way. Max should be here before the end of the year. And I think there was one other player. So Rudolph was recruiting heavily and making all the right calls. But here's my question, Rudolph. Why weren't you involved before in the recruiting? Why? That don't make no sense to me, Rudolph. When you're in charge, you take out all the stops. But when you're not in charge, you're hands off. But you're a patriot and a nationalist. So how does that work? That seems confusing. Now, we all know about all the Rudolph conflicts. I'm not going to go with the conflicts again. But that situation with Rudolph is very concerning because I know how much effort he made to bring players in. And it didn't work out as he pleased. He tried. And I've always given Rudolph for his game management capability. I'm not sure about Rudolph's behind-the-scenes coaching because I've never seen Rudolph produce a player who's a midfielder or a player with certain technical ability at the highest level. He's been coaching for a while now. But I've seen his game management. I refer to the Sabao situation. It's been brilliant. I like when we'll talk about the game against DR Congo where he made some mistakes. But in certain games he managed, it wasn't bad. But Rudolph's style of play, Rudolph would say, I only as good as the players who I have. No, Rudolph. If you're a coach, you can change the players them to play a certain way and you can help improve their ability. If they're not good enough, you get rid of them and bring some new players, Rudolph. We're not buying that. Sorry, we're not buying that. Can't buy that, my youth. You're the coach. No system of play, no style of play. We just kick the ball on the field and we'll be reaching somebody else. That's why King plays so. Man, I stop kicking the people in ball. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. For those who don't speak Patois, he plays the ball long down the field and normally doesn't get to his destination and he keeps doing it because apparently he must be playing for the other team. Don't know what he's doing. But that's what King does a lot. And by the way, I had favorite comments to say about King when I saw him in St. Louis, but he's been going south since then. Because then he was playing in a back 3 and passing the ball well. And after that, I guess he got into himself. So I could get the people in ball. So Rudolph, as I said, did a good job in terms of recruiting and trying to put the best team on the field. And was very receptive to those who provided him information. And he went through all different sources. He brought in a good coaching staff. He brought in Coley from overseas. Why wasn't Coley brought in for McClaren? I mean, I don't know. We had Marion Garden. He brought in Donaldson from Arsenal, Jamaican heritage. And he's effusive in his praise of those coaches. And he has some other coaches helping him. But see, now Rudolph had all the support that he needed. So why wasn't the support, the quality support, afforded those other coaches? Him get the man in America and say, no, American. Apparently, American not good enough. But him good enough for McClaren. Him good enough for Hogrimson. Him not good enough for Speed. Want to explain that to me? Please explain that to me. I don't understand. I am pleased with the coaching staff he brought together. But why isn't the media asking some of these questions that I'm asking? They're rhetorical questions, by the way. I don't understand. I don't have to think about these things. They'll come up at the top of my head. Because I've been here with a journey. And today I hear a question being asked. What name? Arville from KLAS? He might ask Peter a question and say, well, what's the name of the player who XYZ? Arville, my youth. I come like a maverick. I don't know how I see him. I know I compete. I don't know topical. You don't know the player them name. You're journalists at Jamaica. You follow football. You interview Speed. And you don't know the player them who play. You have to do the diligence to go check to make sure you know who. What not do? You don't know, say, Andre Gray. You don't know Mason Clark. You don't know Tyrese. You don't know them. Because them new. And you've not been following them. You've been following the team. You're not involved. You're not committed. You're not do the work. You don't want to beat up the chest and say, boy, we better YouTubers. You're not good enough. I don't know how to do nothing. You're not waste people. Waste. And no one can beat we up and cuss we up and say we're not smart. You don't think we're not smart. And then no, nothing, no topical. Not educate nobody about nothing. Very frustrating people. So in the game that Rudolph played the other day, and I figured that Kira was injured, that's why I didn't bring him for the second game. In that game, at some point during the game, when you're assessing the game, Rudolph did a good job. The first game, New Caledonia, he wanted to win. He got the 1-0 win. But even in that game, there were signs of some trouble there for me. Tyrese Campbell had a tough first half. And I'm glad he played Tyrese, by the way. I'm proud of Tyrese's ability. But Tyrese struggled first half. When he got into the game and playing well second half, that's when he got pulled out. Okay, fine. We won the game. You can't complain. Didn't play brilliantly. Make Caledonia look better than they were. But they were decent, have decent side. But against DR Congo, look, DR Congo and us play very similar football. That's why we had so much possession. I thought we should have started Cephas and Kadamartri up front, just because I thought DR Congo would press us, since we don't keep the ball well, and we try to go over the top to Cephas, like we played against US, and he would get behind the defense. That wasn't how it worked out. Both teams were like two fighters just waiting for each other, not pressuring each other. And it worked out where the weather got to them, the ref was taking off, the weather got to them. And I thought we played well enough. I thought we played as well as we could play, given what we had. But we were not effective offensively. And part of the problem we weren't effective offensively was we gave the ball away too easy. We had 50-some% possession. People like Pinnock had 102 touches, which showed you that the defense wasn't being pressured, so they had time on the ball. And we played the ball a lot in our own half. The problem I have with the game is when you need to keep possession, like low in the people's third, when we got into their half, the middle of their half, we don't know where we're going. Bailey was bad. Campbell was okay. Kadamartri was bad. I thought the midfield did okay, but they weren't penetrative. Lati had a difficult game. He was beaten 4 times, drilled by 4 times, which is a lot for any player. Webster didn't have a good game as New Caledonia because better competition. Pinnock played brilliantly. King, who believes he's God-gifted football and who has a stinking attitude, a really bad attitude, just kicking the ball away all game. And I called somebody to talk to King to say, you know what? It was back in January. I said, you got to talk to this kid. This kid have this attitude that's not warranted. He might cuss out Pinnock. He might cuss out this person in a game, not this last game. And I talked to him. The person didn't take my advice. And if he don't watch himself, because they've talked about it in Scotland, it's going to be a problem for him. The attitude got to go. You're not that good in the first place. You can play, but you're not that good. And the attitude is not warranted, people. It's not warranted. So, and in that game, we made some changes which are questionable. There is no way on God's earth that Liam Bailey should be on the field for 120 minutes. No way. My team was, I had Lati at centre back with Pinnock, I had Frey at right back, and I had Webster at left back. Could have put Bale over there too. I didn't have King in my team because I don't want to give the ball away to the opposition. Tired of that. Because he also makes some errors sometimes, which makes it questionable. So I think the starting lineup to me, and look, anybody can guess. We're not in the camp. As a friend of mine always tells me, you're not in the camp. You don't know what's happening. You know the permutations and particulars and what the scouting reports were. I gave them great benefit of the doubt. But at some point, Bailey should come off for Cephas. Because Cephas didn't start. And Cephas, we all thought Cephas was hurt. He wasn't hurt. Right? Bailey should not have played 120 minutes. We had options on the bench. It wasn't like the midfield where we didn't have a ton of options. We had options on the bench. And as soon as I see Hayden leave the field for Jamaica, I get concerned. And so said, so done. Whenever Hayden come off, as I said before, Hayden has only lost 1 game. We have only lost 1 game with Hayden playing, and that's against the US. The second best or the best team in the region. When we played against Curacao away, he didn't play. We went to the Gold Cup, he didn't go to the Gold Cup. And people say Hayden don't play well. And if you say you don't play well, you don't know nothing about football. Your football knowledge is like Mavericks. It's poor. You don't understand what the role of a CDM is. Very, very poor. So, where are we? Let's talk about the media for a little bit. The media is supposed to be the voice of the people. And in this situation, they have failed miserably. I listened to the interview today, and instead of challenging Rudolph, all they might do is kiss up to Rudolph. Seriously. They accommodate certain things which you just have to shake your head. Because they want access, they'll compromise themselves. So the interviews are comfortable. There's friendly. There's no pressure. There's no tough question. There's no accountability. And when leadership is not challenged, leadership becomes comfortable. Just look at the US. There's no urgency to improve. So Jamaica Football Federation, like if you were in England, people, you know, make the World Cup, the coach of a runway, the media would have killed him both writing, verbally, through different forums. The media, it would have been a bloodbath. Like Italy seeing Italy's president asked the head of the FA in Italy to resign, and he resigned. I don't think Bobsy Grange or bro got to go ask the head of the FA, Ricketts, to resign. That's not going to happen. The people in the JFF feel no goddamn pressure. No, I mean, it's the Rudolph, you know. There is a sense of arrogance which is unbelievable. There is no pressure. Me can't be saying make World Cup and say, yeah, you know, we played the Congo and better than we, you know, so. And we look good, we have no vibes, things work out well, we play well. How can you have a job and not on pressure? Me working at corporate people, I pressure every day. No pressure. If you feel you have no, because you know why you have no pressure? Because you have the electoral process under your wings and you're on the FIFA and you're protected. You don't feel no pressure. Nobody can get rid of you. You just look at them people and say, them can't run off of them out they want. And the media don't put on no pressure. The very same people who are meant and supposed to be holding you accountable are not doing their jobs. When the media stop asking tough questions, the system stops improving. Media influence a lot of behavior. Unbelievable. Now, I'm going to talk about Rudolph Speid a little bit. We've talked about Rudolph and his conflicting role. And if Rudolph wants to become coach, here's a question. Because I hear Rudolph, you're brilliant, Rudolph. You're brilliant. I'm not telling a lie. You're even smarter than I thought you were. So Rudolph already told people in his own way that he's going to be Cavalier coach and the JFF coach and the coach of the national team. Because he said Alex Ferguson has done that before. By the way, Alex Ferguson didn't own the club, Rudolph, that he was managing when he was a manager of the national team of Scotland and the club team. Where was he? Hibernian? He never won the club. Rudolph was sporting director of a Cavalier. He owned Cavalier. He might have coached with Cavalier and he might coach with the national football team. And he will be consulted on JFF matters because you can't have a talent like that not consulted. So Rudolph conflicts will always be there. They're not going away. It's interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. He will be the coach of the national team. And here's how this is brilliant, people. I don't know if Rudolph orchestrated this, but getting no smarties nowadays, we wouldn't even say not do it. So here's how this is beautiful. Follow me, people. Follow me. We drink some water. Follow me. By the way, people, we need some more likes. Hey, if you don't like the argument, you know, and the long talk, you know, just the like button. People, Mr. Rudolph, our coach of the national team, stop it. All right, watch. So let me say this, people. This is brilliant. Cody is probably eligible, but I'm not going to say what somebody tell me, but let me just say this. So the JFF has moved to the whole construct now of having local coaches for all its national team, probably apart from the girls' team, because even though Busby is Jamaican heritage, they don't consider him a Jamaican. He's not local. We can talk part of it, but he's not local. So he's not considered. Us who born in Jamaica, we're not the Jamaican. And some little man will just support the island. Right? So think about this. If you have all the local coaches now coaching the national team, and Rudolph is the top local coach, because Coley a foreign coach, even though I'm born in Jamaica, I have pro license, I'm a foreign coach. And Rudolph was coaching above him for this. So by default, follow me now, If all the age level groups are going to be coached by a local coach, I mean, Rudolph and Sportsmax saying one coach national team. I'm thinking about this is orchestrated or nothing. And then Rudolph is the only local coach at the current moment in terms of what people view the hierarchy of coach and who is the best in Jamaica. So if you have Rudolph Austin coaching under 20, Downswell coaching under 17, Downswell has his A license, Rudolph Austin has his A license, and Rudolph Speed is the head coach of Cavaliers. He's been to CONCACAF 2 times in terms of winning the Caribbean. Then by default, he has to be coach of the national team. What do you mean? It's meritocracy. He's the top-rated coach. There's no competition. Coley still hasn't coached any big team to be saying he has won anything. You have a pro license. So if Coley's out, because, he's also in Qatar and he just come to assist, and he worked on the Rudolph, and there's nobody on the island, and Rudolph is saying they want to have local at every role, then Rudolph is a national coach. Well done. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That's Rudolph. If you did orchestrate it, I have more respect for you than I probably even had before. Brilliant, Rudolph. Brilliant. Ratted boy. And look at man, you know what? I feel I'm done, so I'm confident in them. I'm done. As Mavericks, I'm done. Or I'm not, or I think I'm smart, or what I'm saying. So I'm a conspiracy theory that this was all orchestrated, either by Rudolph, the JFF, or both. So Rudolph is a national coach. Now, if Rudolph is a national coach, me also support the national team. I'm not going to say me not support the national team, and either think that. But can Rudolph be the national coach and be coach of Cavaliers, that owner of Cavaliers? Or is he going to be pushed to reduce some of those conflicts? Because conflicts is inherent in society, but we all try to manage them. I will not go over the solutions tonight because I'm kind of tired. We're down 2 hours now, but we have solutions them to how we're trying to focus. I'm going to go do another show another day this weekend and talk about the solutions them. Pick up from the drop tonight. But I want to say this before I go. I'm going to take some calls before I go. I don't know in life. I'm just trying to think about history of people in different disciplines and how we hold people accountable and what we do when they fail. Football is a results business. There's no acclamation for, oh, you did well. Doing well is winning. Losing, you lose. Even if you tried and played well, they get rid of you. It's a results business. Even though we all said yes, we didn't get embarrassed against Congo, and I even congratulated Rudolph and his team for how they played. We lost. And in hindsight, you said to yourself, how did we get here? We get here, as I said before, poor leadership, poor management, poor execution, poor outcome. The FIFA, it looks like, did everything in their power to get Jamaica to the World Cup, and we said we don't want to go. We don't want to go. We didn't want to go. Seriously, we didn't want to go. If we wanted to go, we'd have done the right thing. We took the easy route. We didn't put in the work the right way. We weren't smart as we should be, and we had an outcome not befitting a country like Jamaica with our pedigree and our profile. It's very disconcerting. See, my niece this evening talked to me and said, Uncle, you go World Cup and go buy your ticket to go World Cup, Because my niece want to send me to the World Cup. I mean, it's nothing I get excited. Because Jamaica, I want to go see. I said, anyway, shape or form, I'm going to the World Cup in Jamaica play. I don't care what the ticket one costs. I know maybe just watch the World Cup mainly on TV. I may still go to a game, but I don't know yet. I'm not going to ask her to buy no tickets, pay them about $100,000 to buy no ticket. I don't do that. It ain't that serious. In Jamaica, I play that serious. I figure we follow Jamaica all the way around. Anyone in there play, except Mexico, I go watch them. Not a good outcome. Where do we go from here? How do we get comfortable that the leadership that's going to be in play, which we can change, will allow us to achieve our objective? I'll come back and talk about that another day as to my proposals for how we can improve the football ecosystem that allows us to be, and what we need to have is a sustainable plan that would allow us to be competitive on a long-term basis, not a short-term basis. And you have a strategic plan with the right people Well, we don't got the right people. Because the people that we have in power now are the same people that move field, and then we'll just regurgitate what happened before. But maybe they can try to be more. I mean, here Rudolph talk about transparency and accountability. Maybe they can provide to us what they're doing and allow it to be surveyed and reviewed and assessed by individuals outside of their core competent persons, and see if they can use the totality of those in football community who want to contribute to help inform what they're planning and see if it can stand the test that you normally try to do or stand the scrutiny that you should provide to it. See what happens. Now, normally we hear that we hear quite a bit being said by the administration, a bunch of different things. They normally focus on the good things. They don't focus on the bad things. Rudolph, before years ago, would come out and says they do a post-mortem on every single coach in every single tournament, and the recommendations right to the board or the technical committee. Who is doing where's the post-mortem for the failed World Cup qualification? Who is doing it? We haven't heard that in the public domain. That's not being talked about. Who's doing it? And who does the post-mortem on Rudolph? Does Rudolph do that himself? How does that work? If Rudolph become coach, I'll be his biggest supporter cheering him on because I want Jamaica to win, and I'm going to start following Jamaica. And Rudolph has changed in some respect. Rudolph is no longer what I consider a xenophobe. Good night.
Kranky.
Yes.
Wagwan.
Who's this?
Money Boss.
Why Money Boss? Why me ask people them who is this? People have to hesitate. I like somebody I look for no. Somebody I look for you? Me ratted. Me ask people, me a Jamaican them who is this and them and you ask the so you have somebody I from go on my you. The topic is floor is yours. Floor is yours. Go on, Money Boss.
What do you call I'm gonna say? Boy, you can't say. You can't really say no. Because me trust pattern, me not trust hopes. You see, I only one hope we trust in, and that I hope in Jesus. I don't know you're atheist, but me trust pattern, and even so, we can see why we trust Jesus because of everything that he has done. So why we not trust pattern? Hopes, and I just feel like say, I don't know where this ideology come from or this mindset where Jamaican hope, but hope not get things done. You have to trust results. Result is what that get things done. You go by results. You don't go by boy, my hopes to them win. My hopes to them do this. My hopes to them do that. It's the result that matters, people. Success is a numbers game. It's not no hope. And that's why we constantly get our heart break because at the end of the day, the numbers are there, right? And me tell you what I'm really feel vexed about it or whatever. Even when Ryan show me hear people say Ryan, me not trust this, you know. I not have my hopes up, even in a personal circle. I say my youth, you can't stay, don't go by numbers, you don't go by no hopes. If you have mathematics and engineering, you go by numbers, you know say hope this right. So the building will collapse and kill everybody. You know, you have to get the calculations right. So
you're an engineer?
Yes, I'm an engineer.
Okay, so you talk like one, because only engineer taught them with it. But anyway.
No, but look, no, but Kranky, but a truth of the matter still is that the thing, and what we can say is that when Italy never qualified, Gattuso stepped down, right? And said, all right then, you know, I failed. But one thing we don't understand with some black country, you know, why is it that when them fail, is that that's when them more determined to stay in a power for cause ultimate destruction. Right? I don't understand why if you fail at doing your job, you cannot dignify the position to say, you know what, I've tried my best, my expertise, and it wasn't good enough. It's time for me to step down. Your heart get more hardened. I'm more prideful. No, I'm going to persist, and I'm going to show you how great I can be. No one wants to take the stance of humility, and all the people they want to do a compare. No, come, and then them just get some free food or some this and them gone. And next story.
Right.
So, honestly, I have no hope in Jamaican football right now, right? Because you cannot tell me they get such right an opportunity. Look at everything, Kranky. They got the remember, you know, from X time, I can't recall, but let's say from 2000 and this World Cup campaign, I would say just the start of this World Cup campaign. They have all the players. All the news reports was around all these fantastic players, right? And and rightfully so. I think they made great addition to the team. We got the Demar Greaves, we got the Bobby Dickover Reed, we got all of the players them would have deemed necessary, right? That I personally think would have brought us over the line. We had the Leon Baileys, we had certain talents. Okay, and Jay Blakes, and yet still, on top of that, we got the competition extended to 32 teams
48
and
teams.
48 teams. Oh,
Not
and
32. A
48,
whole heap of team.
whole heap of team. And next thing, it was going to play in our region, right?
Even if we go to 96, we'll struggle to make it.
Exactly. We have to struggle to make it. No, a serious thing. It was played in our region. Ooh, wow. We will get too much in $1 billion cheaper and something billion. Wow. We get the easiest group. Wow, yeah, we have made it. Soup, pressure. Boom. Fail. Okay, finally, we get another chance. Boom. Fail. Okay, no, let's pick the right coach. Let's go for Mr. McClaren. Yes. Boom. Hey, Mr. McClaren, you're hired. Oh, yeah, I am? Really? You guys really hired me? Oh, wow. I'm surprised. This guy was surprised when Jamaica called him. Hey, you got the job. Really? They really choose someone like me. So, how is it know that, honestly, we're in those people's subconscious and conscious mind? They're like, I think we're still the right persons for the job. If you get this opportunity here, remember the next campaign round, if the world still exists, you still have Mexico for deal with, you have Costa Rica for deal with, you have Panama for deal with, you have a stronger 80 side because 80 qualify now, so say the next round of World Cup qualification, more them are gonna attract more people of Asian descent. You have what the team of Curacao for deal with, you have USA for deal with, you have all of them top regional teams for deal with. Which, and my mind on this was supposed to be a generational talent era. So which part now you'll get players from when everybody would have been interested to play for the team, would have looked on and be like, oh my god, hell no, I'm not putting my career on the line for that. Them not look on and say the Jamaican player them a pick and joke thing. So which if me I was a professional player and I was looking at this thing, where would I be and be like, yeah, I'm gonna probably go and play for them. No. So I think they don't understand that partially they have ruined the Jamaican football. Literally. Like when I say ruin Kranky, I mean to like probably beyond repair for the next 10 years.
I don't know if it's 10 years, but they have set the program back. Yes, I agree. It's a lot of money to be. It was so easy to qualify. It's unbelievable. We couldn't beat Curacao. We could, because you know what? The recruiting was flawed. We had a sense of people believe that they are right and they were so comfortable and they were arrogant, and it manifests itself in terms of what transpired.
Absolutely. But look on this, I forgot to say this. Curacao come on Jamaica without them head coach.
Yeah.
Right? And get a point. And to Curacao, after them qualify, them start play. They sack them, Jamaican sack them in the Jamaican own dressing room. Me don't want no Jamaican talk about them a ball. I don't go for me so. You feel like you can come here and talk about you a national. Which part of you are national? You know no baller, you know a crawler, you know a faller. But baller. Or do we make Curacao come all the way from Curacao, right? B2, well not be but technically B2 no. Come in on own dressing room and I celebrate, right? You with your own music. 2 times this happened. It happened with DR Congo. DR Congo start celebrating with their own music. My youth, you know, look into yourself and look and I said, no man, like bro, like me don't know how they do it, but honestly, me I try to wonder that is something that has to be studied, Kranky, because like I'm gonna say this thing. I'm gonna say there's something fundamentally wrong with the Jamaican culture, with the Jamaican people, how them participate, how them take pride in things like I feel like say Majority of the time, they don't understand. As soon as them start making some money, it's like I eat that for them. Like them not really care anymore. Them not really care about the hunger, the desire anymore. It not dead it. And them not understand. Even if they do, they just don't care. Because only things matter to them are hype and spotlight. Them not understand how legacy can be set. Them not understand generational benefits, right? In terms of, okay, if me can qualify for this, my pit never get this is good for my country. Their thing is, well, I'm eating over here, I'm good. Them not care about them pick me. Them feel like, say, oh, me eat over here, so then surely me can put things in place for my kids. But you don't know where come to you in the future. So if you can put certain things aside and fight, and I'm gonna tell you what else mash up the thing too, and this should have been stopped from the get-go. You see, when Leon Bailey come out and talk bad about the Jamaican team, he should have never wear back a next jersey for the Jamaican team. That man should have never wear a next jersey. You see, when that happened, it killed the spirit of the entire team. And the entire team now come out and just don't care of this. Well, him can do it, me can do it. After the ego, after them better than me. So that fight now, where should have ended nationally, it's not there anymore, because guess what? One man set the precedence. One man come out and say, the Jamaican team now do not feed. He might do things for the Jamaican team. And the lower life people them still go back, right? And give this man a jersey.
I wouldn't say low life. Don't use that term there.
I know saying really applicable this still, but forgive me, those people in the JFF. But when me I tell you the Kranky is that how on God's planet, right? You go take a national jersey where this man literally discriminate, right? And talk bad about the national team. And I like that this man was a superstar in the national team. Even the team do nothing special. I take back your jersey and give back this man. Or I feel like say subconsciously this is gonna affect the people around him. Nobody now go there go fight for that. And we keep on. Sometimes we hear people talk about the international ball. I say, listen, the international, the ballers of Jamaican descent, they're more disciplined, and I've not heard anything bad about these people, right? Except for look Ravel Morrison. I don't hear nothing bad about the ball of them. But every minute, me I show you in a Kranky how cultural impact can affect them youth. You know. They hear say Whisper go to a party after lose. Fast go to a party after lose. Shaman Nicholson. Every minute they hear something bad about the local player them. The people, the youth them who grew up in the ghetto. And you have to say to yourself, yeah, when I try to call out them things, you know what, the same ghetto youths them, when I really, most of them, and I'm speaking the facts, a lot of them are illiterate. So they cannot.
I would not call out what you term them, man.
No,
so they need to enhance their intellectual capabilities. How about that?
Okay, yeah. They need to enhance certain their reasonability is not that high, right? So even if you have to show them, say, look, I not say go about the thing. You know them come out and say, you're bad mind. It's like them not have no other words in the vocabulary. What do you mean by bad mind? Me I try to help you. Me I try to tell us about a wrong thing you do. You cannot do that with the national team. You cannot talk about so yo. But at this time, I'm getting for party. Brother, stop your foolishness.
All right, Callum, I get 2 more minutes. After me, I've got to run. We get 2 more minutes.
All right, yeah, so 2 more minutes, me have? Yeah, so what me I try to say? So first I want to say, yeah.
At 12, you're gone already now. 12, you're gone already. Go. 12. No, we tie people. Don't disrespect nobody. We disrespect. We have make a case without disrespecting.
Yeah, so I'm sorry if I don't feel disrespect, but you see what this attitude get to know? This attitude when we follow like-minded people like me come out and I say this is wrong. I don't want to talk about no bad mind of them. You see what I get to do? I hope all of you guys who have been supporting this attitude can look into yourself and say, alright boy, I fooled a true man, something wrong. Instead of supporting these type of behavior. Again, before I leave Kranky, viewers will listen. For any type of success does not have. Some people might say, oh, well, winning the jackpot is luck. No, it's a numbers game still. Any type of success, if you want to have a successful life, you have to jot down your goals, all type of things. You get results there. But nothing no come by overnight planning. Nothing no come by hopefulness. Nothing no come by mistake. Unless you find some money, whatever. But
All right, Carl. All right, I'll take another call.
all right,
Thanks, sir. Have a good night.
thanks to you.
What up, Jay? What up, Jay? What up? What up? Night Rider says, is there a commission in the Ministry of Sports that is responsible for carrying out any forensic analysis of how the JFF is ran? No, the JFF is an independent body who's under the governance of FIFA. FIFA precludes government from getting involved in football. Even though you hear the Prime Minister of Italy asked the head of the federation to resign, he did it because he did it for the country and sacrificed himself. It's not because he was forced to, because the government can't force you to resign, right? Only FIFA, and FIFA can't force you to resign either. It has to go through your normal process. Good night, Jay. What's up?
Hey, good night, Kranky.
Yeah.
But I mean, sacrifice. When you're talking about the Italian prime minister, I mean that's just what somebody that's serious about the country's football would do when you have a big footballing country, Syria and stuff like that. I mean, it'd be good if Brogard did that. You know what I mean? To say, yo, what's going on, man? You just dropped the ball.
I don't think Brogard can get them to resign. That's not happening. This is Jamaica, different culture.
No, I know it's not. It's about the symbology of it. To say, yo, you guys just let the whole country miss out on all type of tourism dollars. I mean, the impact of this, them dropping the ball like that is beyond just the football pitch, right? The amount of tourism advertisements that they was going to be able to get, just by having 3 90-minute matches at least during the World Cup is massive. You can't really quantify that as something that you could buy as advertisement, budgets. You know what I mean? Like if you want to buy commercials and stuff like that. So the president should say something, because that's money that, like, they're robbing everybody, right? Like this Rudolph Speed, him being like a despot like this, is robbing me, you, our families of a chance to unite with the diaspora. Everybody, from England coming over, Robbie and them, AFTV crew linking up with you, Ryan channel. Everybody's taking an L off this, and these guys don't have no consequences. That's madness, yo. That's madness.
Well, look, FIFA has found a way to protect its membership because they keep people like Infantino in power.
Yeah, but Kranky, you know what I wanted to say? Did you see the poll that they put out when they were asking which teams in the playoffs? I forget which game it was that I was watching, but they said, which team in the playoffs do you want to see qualify for the World Cup?
Right.
And it was Italy, number one, at like 50%, and Jamaica had 25%. That's from the neutrals.
Yeah, no, people love Jamaica, actually. I mean, people are very supportive of Jamaica just holistically and what the country represents. Yeah. But they don't realize that we are challenged in a lot of different ways.
But what I'm saying is people need to have a little bit more, I don't know. I mean, it could come from, we are already voicing our outrage about it, but the country, and I don't want to just say government, but just as a whole, need to just show some type of, like, yo, we need to get these guys out of this, man. Like, it can't just be at the expense of everybody else, because what somebody really need to do is quantify not just the 10.5 million US. It's beyond that. In my mind, I would probably say they cost everybody about 100 million in them figures. I would say that's how big you would have to look at this. If you really look at, the amount of folly that they carried out. So they shouldn't get away with it scot-free and just be able to dig their heels in and say, yeah, you know what, we messed up, but we got this thing on lock and can't nobody move us up out of this. In my opinion, I brought this up on a previous show. It's like the only way I see this better Speed leaving this thing alone is if, like, a USL, I'm trying to think realistically, like if a USL, like let's say like Tampa Rowdies with the call up Speed and say, hey, you know what, we see, you know what I mean, I want to offer you a contract, and you know what I'm saying, come over here, green card, whatever, get this on your resume. That's like the only way I see this better relinquishing his
green card is not.
corporate
Green
club.
card is not. Speed could probably have a green card. That's not gonna work for Speed.
Well, I'm talking about that's just one thing about it. But what I'm saying is that it would give him a level of more prestige to have coached like an MLS team.
Yeah, no, but he's
or
in
a
a position to
USL
coach
team.
Jamaica. That position, that may never be, the opportunity may never arise again. Right? If he's going to get the Jamaica job,
You
which
tell
because
me
I'm
he wouldn't coach an MLS team over Jamaica? Like that would make him a way more serious.
No, because he's going to tell you he's a
coach on his
national.
resume.
No, he's not going to coach MLS team. No, it's not happening. I'm telling you, it's not happening.
But that's the whole goal of when you coach internationally.
Speed is six.
It's a
Call
that-
Jay, you're not listening. Speed is mid-60s. You know, young spring chicken.
Yeah, but that don't mean that's not like my man is what's my man from England that coached Crystal Palace? That brother's like 90 years old. Speed can keep coaching. He's not that old
All right.
for a coach.
All right, Jay.
He should have some more ambition and say, yo, you know what? Let me parlay this into something else and bow out gracefully, go off and get a next job. Well, even if it's Cayman Islands or something, but like just do the right thing. You know what I mean? But it has to be some type of public leverage on it, so they don't feel like, yeah, you know what, we can just do anything. We can just, straight just fall on our face and cost the country hundreds of millions of dollars, U.S. money, not Jamaican dollars, U.S. money. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's why the Prime Minister Italy is like, yo, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta lift up. And we doing our part, but I'm telling you, man, it's sad because, they robbed us a lot of memories and set everybody back while, like, people are saying Haiti, Dominican Republic gonna get better. The region is growing. So if we don't go along with it, man, we're gonna be obsolete.
All right, Jay. Thanks for the call, son. Appreciate it.
All right, take
Bless
care.
him. Let me say a couple of things before I go, which is what transpired. But I feel sorry for the fans in general because the fans do not deserve this. They thought that finally we get to the World Cup, and it's been extremely disappointing not to get there. And the problem we have with this whole situation is there are no repercussions for the people who orchestrated this. In fact, they may all get rewarded. It's really a sad day and a sad state of Jamaica football, where the persons who are involved in the failure of the team to get to the easiest World Cup in the history of football may get rewarded, not get demoted, not getting fired. And as John F. Kennedy said way back when, don't ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. And I believe for people who say they're nationalists and they're patriot, sometimes you have to sacrifice yourself for the larger good. If you fail at a role and fail badly, or multiple roles for that matter, the question then arises, should you be promoted for failure? Should you be rewarded for failure? You cannot absolve yourself from the failure. You can't make excuse for the failure. You can't talk about, oh, it's all of us involved in it. Because if you're the orchestrator, you own it. Now, we know fans have no say. We know fans don't have the input that's required to influence anything. But then you're asking fans to come support the national team. But when things go bad, there's no accountability. Knight Rider says, thank you, Kranky, but I'm not interested in resignation here. My concern is how does an independent company who maintain and market the brand of Jamaica as its core business gets held accountable if there's suspicion of malpractice and corruption in its ranks? Well, I don't want to use the word corruption. Knight Rider, first of all, thanks very much for the $20 of super chat, probably the biggest I've ever gotten. So you're going to be on that list of special persons. Thanks a lot. Let me say this, Knight Rider, which is this. I don't want to use the word corruption for anyone because we don't have any proof of corruption. So I stay away from the corruption argument. I am talking about optically what I see and what I can substantiate and what's clear. We failed to get to the World Cup. The persons involved in that failure who run it, there's no repercussions for them. Zero. Unlike in Italy where the head had to resign, he didn't coach the team. The head of the FA had to resign because he overseed it. In any organization, in any company, corporate or otherwise, if you run the ship and something goes wrong, you own the ship. So therefore, you feel the pain. There is zero pain for anyone in the JFF. In fact, there is credit being given that all these things we have done, we have improved the coaching, the junior teams are getting elevated, and one going to the World Cup, and one now is in the second round or last round of CONCACAF qualifiers. The women's team with the World Cup. So we have done wonderfully. But when you peel the onions back, we haven't done as well as we think we have done. And secondly, in any football federation, any football organization, 90% of it is the senior men's team. And this is to denigrate the women's team or belittle them. 90% is the men's team. They're the one to generate the money. All the money most of the time. Yeah, the women get some money for the World Cup they had in Australia, which they fought about between them and the JFF. The men's team was going to get $12 million. So they get $12 million and JFF take 5 for share up amongst the players and themselves. So they take 6 and then 6 left. 6 had invested in football in Jamaica. In the grassroots football. Oh, none of that money is going to be seen. None. Zero. And we are told how brilliant everybody did to get us to failure, not qualify, lose the Congo. We turned out brilliant we did. And as I said before, I commended them in not embarrassing us. And that they tried and they played hard. And I thought they did some things well. But we failed. And the failure is not, the root cause of the failure is not what transpired against DR Congo. The root cause go way back. Way back. And for us to come and say this is the most successful president in the history of the JFF, it may be the longest running president. How long did Captain President for? And if you're going to talk about the most successful president, if the men's team is 90% of the football program and he's been to the World Cup, then he can't be the most successful. And I don't care what he does. If the men's team go to the World Cup and you've never gone on your tenure, then you're not the most successful. Because overridingly, it's like you have a client base. You have 50 clients. And one client bring in 90% of the money. And you lose that one client. You lose 90% of your revenues. How are you going to then say this president did the best because the one junior team went to the World Cup and one may go and two may say, no. It's not about volume business. It's about impact. So anyway, at the end of the day, Knight Rider, I appreciate you, sir. I must say that again. Thanks for the contribution to the channel. It's very encouraging. For those of you who haven't hit the like button, unfortunately, but it's your prerogative. It's your finger. You don't have to push it. But thanks for being here and listening to me and listening to my little rant that I did tonight. Hey, Rudolph Speed, because I know you watch my channel. I wish you the best of luck if you get the job. But if you are a true nationalist, as you said you are, and a patriot, the question is, should you sacrifice your own ambition for your country? Ask not what the country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Mr. Ricketts, I know you have banned me. Or banned me for good. And I can appreciate that. And maybe if I was in your seat, given who I am, probably ban myself too. But you have to start leading. You can't lead by being silent. You can't lead remotely. You have to be out there. You have to be the voice of the organization. You have to be a leader. You have to be prominent. You have to be visible. And that's not the case. You have to be accountable. And I realize what you guys do is you hide when things go bad and nobody can shut you up. And we always soon when things go good. At least Rudolph is making the tour, the rounds, but he's going to the very comfortable media. He's not going to the challenging media. He's going to the comfortable one. He's going to the YouTube channels where it's comfortable. He's going to the radio station where it's comfortable. Even Maverick, who called himself as tough and big gun brother and being loud and obnoxious, even he kiss your butt when he comes on this program. He does kiss your butt when he comes on this program. Don't challenge you. Hey, Speedy. Hey, Speedy. You don't want to come on my program, Rudolph, and that's your prerogative. And make me different. But I would love for you to come one day and we have a conversation. Because it'll be an interesting conversation. Anyway, people, I'm going to say good night. I appreciate you being here. Hit the like button before you leave. If you don't, as I say, it's your prerogative. I do believe, though, I'm going to take a break from covering Jamaica football, actually. And it may be a permanent break. Since I wasn't born in Jamaica, and since the people don't want Jamaican to be running football, I'm going to get the football a break. I'm going to still do my YouTube. I'm going to try to do a lot more stuff on YouTube than I have done in the past. And you know what? I shouldn't say I'm not going to cover Jamaica football. I'm going to cover the football very selectively. I'm going to cover it selectively. Right? I'm going to cover it selectively. I'm not going to cover it at all. I'm thinking about not doing it at all because it's kind of toxic. It's kind of challenging. It's not worth the back and forth and the fighting and the bad mind thing. When I like say, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's frustrating. And when people challenge your intellect, and those same people work in a little small market, and they're stars in the small market, and they have what they call a Pandikana discussion, because up here, Pandikana discussion they have, the discussion is not one where it's informed by anything that's called evidence or relevance or thought or deductiveness. It's just a lot of chat that everybody beat them chest and say, "Me give nonsense meter" and all that nonsense. Or there are programs where people want to control what questions you ask and how you ask the question and put you in a box. Then it's kind of frustrating. And when some people don't know what good looks like and they think they do, Knight Rider, you sure you're all right? Knight Rider said, "You don't think a man who owns a club, select players and head coach, national team is a substantive form of corruption?" Knight Rider, I don't disagree that the conflict is a concern, but it ain't going to change. The media in Jamaica and the people in Jamaica have accepted it. I can beat my tongue from now till tomorrow about conflict. People don't care. They don't care. It's inherent in the society. So why should people who are in this YouTube space who may have concerns about these conflicts and the implications, why should they keep going down the same road when people don't care? The people who should care, they don't care. The audience don't care. The media don't care. In fact, the media doesn't even understand what a conflict is. They don't understand what a conflict truly is. If you ask them to describe a conflict and the implications of a conflict, they have no idea. Even the ones who say they're informed and they're smart and they're the most credible and they're most brilliant, they can't define a conflict and they can't define the implications. They can't tell you the implications of conflict, how you should manage it, and how to make sure you mitigate it to ensure it doesn't result in unsavory behavior. They can't. So what I would say in parting is this. We should, each of you, have a say or have some responsibility to help influence the football. You can do it verbally. You can do it in different ways. But silence is not an option, I don't think. You should try to influence the football. If you love it, if you're passionate about it, and a lot of people are passionate about it. Just being loud and being vocal, yeah, that helps. But try to influence it in some way, shape, or form. Because at the end of the day, it's your pleasure that's being denied. It's your opportunity. Feeling that pride is being denied. And it's not okay for those who run the football, some of who are not competent enough, to have roles that they assume, they're like permanent jobs, like lifetime jobs, and they don't do the job that's required because they don't have the capability to do so. And when you criticize them, they lose their mind. And I see someone named Slingstone in the chat talking about the 98 teams versus the current footballers. I said this on a regular program yesterday. Listen up to this. Every single year, the 98 teams gets better. So say the grade from 1 to 100. I said the 98 team was a 50. In 5 years, it gets to be 55, 60, and the players and their ratings go up. Every year, the 98 team gets better. I hear somebody comparing, once again, somebody comparing Cargill with Hayden and say Hayden can't walk in Cargill's shoes. I'm old enough to see Cargill play a lot of football. And I'm old enough to see Hayden when he was at Arsenal playing centre back, went to Newcastle playing Premier League football. Now in his older years, playing drop down 1 level, play QPR. There is no comparison, zero comparison between the two players. There's none. None. And to hear these old timers who are in my age bracket put deity around some of these players who are just regular footballers who played at no level, except they play as a team, and treat them as if they are deity, they're the greatest things in sliced bread. And I watch these players play. Whether it's Bibi, whether it's Goodison, whether it's Burton, whether it's Hall. The Jamaica team had 1 point from 5 games in the first 5 games of the qualification in the 90s, and they got better when the 4 players came in. I think one was injured. When Hall came in and Sims came in, and they got better and they kept winning and they kept drawing and they made the World Cup. And those 3 players, they didn't matter. They were on the periphery. It was only the local players who did it. So at the end of the day, hey, it's your perspective. Cargill, God rest his soul, was a brilliant footballer. Was the best that ever played CDM for Jamaica in the history of Jamaica football, and probably the best Jamaica football ever. That's the narrative. Cargill, God rest his soul. Go ahead, Presser.
Yeah, I'm not stay long, but obviously Peter Cargill. I'm never watching, but you know better than Isaac Hayden. But that's besides the point, right? I mean, Kranky, I think you should just call it for what it is. You know, Jamaica's football is, you know, the French word is whatever for the next how much ever years if these people stay in place, to be honest, you know. We have failed for 30-something years in terms of qualifying for the World Cup, and obviously they would have failed before that as well, right? So it's an organization marked with FAILURE. And normally, you know, when you fail at something, especially in these type of organizations, there's an overall, right? Overhaul of what would you say now? People changing people about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't seen that in years, you know. Tapa Whitmore was the coach for a period of time. I think that tells you everything about the JFF. With all due respect to Tapa, he wasn't, you know, competent to get the job done, right? So we failed with Tapa. And obviously other individuals would have failed as well. Maybe they weren't good enough or they weren't given the tools. So overall, Kranky, you know, we try to shortcut this thing in terms of qualifying for the World Cup, and I don't see where Jamaica makes it to the next World Cup. I don't see what changes between now and the next couple of years when the qualification starts back to give me confidence to say that we will qualify for the World Cup. Because when you think about it, Kranky, what gave us as fans confidence? What gave us as fans the confidence that we would have qualified for the World Cup? It's not really the team being good in some sense, you know, or the structure being right, you know. It's the mere fact that we fell in a favorable group. So imagine if Jamaica was in a better, like a tougher group. Let's say.
But you know, it's 16 making the next World Cup, right?
Yeah, so you have USA back in it, Mexico, Canada,
right?
And they will grow, right? And you have the Curacao, which I was talking to Gunners today, saying that, you know, after them qualifying for this World Cup, you'll have people that want to play for them, right? And then I think Isidore won his debut today, and the caller previously, a couple callers ago, was saying that, you know, Haiti, you'll have people that would be, or that going forward will be interested in playing for Haiti, you know? So all these teams getting better. Gone are the days where them never really good or them never really have access to the player them overseas like we, but now them have access and them utilize them. Haiti never played a game in the country, but it's them go to World Cup. Curacao, how much player them did that from Curacao? We play on the team. But 1 or 2 them say?
Chong, 1.
And them still go, you know? While we debate, oh, if this guy's Jamaican and who have more heart and blood and whatever the case is, you know? So.
Right. Let me say this though about that, which is this is gonna sound really weird, me saying this. If Speed is a coach, Jamaica may qualify for the World Cup.
No, Kranky, I go too far.
Listen. And here's the reason why. Because when it comes to Speed and him being the coach, he's gonna recruit the best players possible. He made a statement a lot of time, which is the best players get the best chance to win. That's why when I recruit so hard, he's going to put a structure in place to recruit. He didn't give a damn about no national team and recruiting when he was not the coach. He just didn't. When he became the coach, the whole situation changed. And he has influence in the JFF to make them put a recruiting strategy in place to get the best players and get them early. He brought Tyrese Hall in, been called for Tyrese Hall forever. He brought him in, he gave him some game time. That's going to encourage other young players to want to come in. You watch me saying this now, and you know what? I'm going to record this and mark it down. So 4 years from now or 3 years from now, we can see this, which is he'll get the best players And
just
he will,
put it this way, Kranky.
because it's about players, you know. We can talk about one. It's about players. As he said, it's a 30% coach influence, probably even less for national teams. It's about players. You need quality players.
Kranky, we have seen the best of the best clubs, the middest of the best clubs in the world hire coaches that we thought would have been good, and they gave them the tools and they still failed. So it's still about coaching. You look at Italy. You have to say Italy have better players than
No, they don't have better players. No, Italy don't have better players. That's why this came in World Cup. They don't have better players.
Italy never have better players than some of them countries they would play.
No, Italy players not good. Which name the Italy player? Hold on. No, hold on. Name the Italy player not good. Name the Italy player. They're not good.
Italy don't have better players than Bosnia.
They're probably similar. Italy not good. No, wait. Italy not good. Me I tell you, watch Italy play. They're not good.
I know, but
so you say they have better players. They're not good.
No,
they have fell down the ladder of PSB for years now. They have been producing no great players. When I say Italy, I'm just waiting for the Ballon d'Or. There's no Maldini. There's no Basco. There's none of them.
Does Italy have better players than Jamaica right now?
Yes.
Okay, so relative to the opponent that they were playing,
but they're playing tougher teams. They're playing tougher teams.
Yeah, but me I say even Bosnia they have better players than. So I'm saying even when you put a good coach, well, if you think the person is good, them still can fail. So as much as Mr. Rudolph Speid would want to recruit moving forward, there's still that coaching aspect. You know, America, they would have had good players over the years, and you know, them failed to qualify for a World Cup not too long ago, right? Them have good players now, and every team of them beat them up. Well, teams that are competent, right? So as much as you want to recruit, you still have to be a good, sensible coach at the end of the day.
I actually believe international football, there's less coaching and board management. You have some strategy area there. You don't have time enough to implement your ideas as you like to. Now, what he could really do really well is this: the recruiting starts now, right? And it gets enhanced, and you drop people in here, and it starts now, and you build that team camaraderie from now. You make sure the players are at the age where they're not going to be disposed of in 2-3 years. You retain some of the older players, but they got to understand their time is limited. It starts now. You start blending now, and you get them to place. And this whole thing about the under 17, under 20 go split national team. None of those players are not good enough to be no national team. They're good for under 17, under 20. That's it.
The good thing I say about him is that he loves quality, and you know, me him talk about the
yes, it's about quality. He understands. He's a smart man. I keep saying to people because when I say that, he understands quality. He knows that you win with quality. When you have the better players, you have a better chance to win. Why Real Madrid win people? Real Madrid is a pickup side. Real Madrid is a pick because not like Barca, you know, when we have a system and then bring two players like Gavi and Pedri and Yamal. Real Madrid a pickup side, an all-star side, where the coach, that him coach, Zinedine Zidane a big coach. Ancelotti a big coach. Them know how to manage people.
My last point, Kranky. Me da listen to the show today, right? And maybe Mr. Speed now where some of the stuff with him say like how it might come across. But me hear the man said teams will be lining up to play against Jamaica before the World Cup, right? Because they played good against Congo. Like Kranky, you cannot say those type of stuff publicly. We feel like doing something, right? And we're going to talk about teams that line up to play Jamaica before they head off to the World Cup. So Jamaica is the test subject for these teams. Just get some minutes in them legs before them head off to the big competition that we've been chasing for 32 years. You can't see them think they publicly after we feel a campaign.
You know, Rudolph exaggerates sometimes.
Yeah,
Rudolph have the same thing, but how much coach, what Lou I want to coach Jamaica. And half of them probably make one. Can select McClaren. So select McClaren for the group of coaches when talk about, then half of them don't make one, don't it?
But in the future, that's support.
By the way, this is 433 Presser who beat McClaren before he come on. But you call him Presser over here.
I never call him that, man. The media for this.
I know, but you emphasized it. What was it, Presser?
The Wally with the Bradley.
The Wally with the Bradley. Okay, my umbrella.
Interview though, him talk about it recently. But let me ask you this: you that support me as the coach moving forward?
Support who?
Me.
But we never see your coach yet.
Bless you.
Yeah, man, bless him. Have a good night. All right, everybody. I'm out of here. Thanks for being here. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. I appreciate you being here. Support the channel. And people Slings to you don't understand football, Slings to So if I don't watch football for a long time, still don't get it. Aiden is a brilliant CDM for Jamaica. He's a decent CDM at a certain high level. He's good for Jamaica. He's lost one game with Jamaica, people. Hayden has lost one game. And think about the game. When you don't play, we lose. You have 1 minute. Come here, I have to leave, my youth. Go on.
Good night, Mr. Kranky. Good night.
You have 1 minute. 1 minute, I have to go.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Can be a
Done.
big call, big call.
1 minute.
Kranky.
1 minute. 1 minute. You
You
have.
better never answer me now.
I didn't answer your course. So,
I'm on a big top call.
what do you have to say? Because you have run out your time. What do you have to say?
All right. Yeah, as I said, I was listening some part of the show, but when I leave from where I was,
Yeah.
I just reach home, so I didn't know.
You don't like to listen to quality. That's your problem, innit? You like to listen to quality. But go ahead.
No, I was listening when you was having your monologue. You know, I was listening. You know,
not monologue. I'm monologue. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Monologue you have. Anyway,
yeah.
I wanna I listen to you all the time. And something you say, sometimes I don't agree with you. You have things that I agree with you.
Wait. If you agree with me all the time, that means you don't have no sense. You don't know if you agree with me all the time. I'm glad you don't agree with me sometimes. Because that's not a good thing. You can't agree with me all the time.
He's a very articulate person, very intelligent person. You know, and you as a man, you criticize a lot. You criticize.
So wait, I don't give flowers.
I don't know about flowers. A woman deal with flowers.
Well, I know you're dating yourself. You're dating yourself about terminologies. It's like saying good is bad. You're dating yourself. But go ahead anyway.
The flowers thing. Anyway, what I'm saying, you to me, as I say, listen, you don't when it come on to leader in a Jamaica, when it come on to any form of leadership, I don't think you really give. I don't think you have any. How I should put it now?
I don't have any. I don't have any.
Leadership in the country. I don't think you lead. I don't think you rate no form of leadership in the country. When I listen, not you alone, you know.
Okay.
Some of when I think when you leave off the shore, I want to go away.
Yeah.
And then I start look back, when I'm very critical. Very, very, very critical.
You know why? You know why? You know why?
Yeah.
Because we actually went away, unlike some people on the shore, see what good looks like, do a comparison, and I'm not happy.
Yeah. And I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
The problem we may have. You see, the problem we may have.
We know you're going to do that. We know you're going to do that. You've been there already, but do say it again.
He's very articulate. He's very intelligent.
Yeah.
You go after everybody.
So people must say, why not come back, come help? Go on.
And I said, you have another person just like you know. You have a guy we call on the show them name Determined.
Yes.
Sounds very articulate and all of those things. And I said, I think more time I say, why these type of people? They see all the problems and they know all the things. Why they don't come back and put themselves in the situation? Help them country where them love so much.
So tell me what you want me to answer. Tell me what you want me to answer. Go on.
You know, it can go in the wrong direction. Because every time you listen, it's not going in the direction we don't want it to go. So me say, I agree. Come back. Come do something. Just like the guy down there, with this young president in one of them African country. He realize him country, he never like him country that run, and he is a young president now. Yeah. And he put himself on the line. Them all threaten him, they threat and all of those things. But him still put himself on the line and say he want him country to be better.
Right.
So I'm saying, people like type of people in the diaspora so intelligent, know all the stuff them what to be done. Well, no, don't come and try. Try, you know, because maybe you don't try and fail. But even try. Put up yourself and try.
So okay, I can respond.
Yeah, man.
It's people. It is a fair comment that Fisherman is raising. I'm not going to say I'm intelligent, but what he's saying is that if you have certain skill set and you believe that things are not working, you're not fixing the problem by just talking. You should come and actually work to get it done. So there are barriers to entry, I would call it, Fisherman. I'm going to give you an example, JFF, right? If you want to be on the JFF board, you got to live in Jamaica about 10 years consecutively before you can even be on the board. By the time 10 years pass, me don't left the earth already, that's not going to happen. So if I had aspiration for the board in JFF, I couldn't get on the board because a 10-year moratorium that's out there that you have to be in Jamaica first before you can get on the board, right? And it's not just for the JFF. The country has set up restrictions to preclude other people who may have the skill set to be part of the process. They're protecting themselves. That's a fact. There are also situations where I've had friends who moved to Jamaica. And the experience they've related to me about in the corporate environment and how it works, you don't want none of that, my youth. You don't want none of that.
No.
But may I tell you, you don't want none, you can't deal with it because you're gonna be beyond frustration.
Come on.
May I tell you, fisherman. But no, but they come back. Fisherman. No, then I'm sadistic. I'm sadistic then. If I'm gonna tell you, say, "Mate, don't cross the wall there," because I think they will hurt you, and you can say, "Go cross the wall," you get hurt. You can't complain.
No. It's enough time here people talk thing, just like in the football thing. When I hear you talk about players will come in and you have 5 players gonna join the team and all of those things.
Yes.
So people say things, and then when we don't see nothing like that. So I'm saying, you don't suppose to everything that people say you take it as gospel.
No. But these are confidence. These are not people who just randomly for draft them and talk. These are confidence, and the story that they give you, it doesn't encourage. First of all, as I said, there are barriers to entry for you to get in. And even when you get in, you can't influence behavior and change. But what we'd like to do, though, because the Prime Minister has been asking for the diaspora to come back home and to be part of the process. The problem you have is the disparity in income is so much, it's hard. Okay, let me give you an example. Not give you just not real number, but speculated numbers, right? So let's say you could make 50,000 US in Jamaica, but you're making 300,000 in the US. Even though it's more expensive here, there's a lot to give up, fisherman. You and your family, It's a big sacrifice, right? Would you agree with that? It's hard to do.
Then Olano, the people that the person them that who was here before us, they have to go through a lot of things that we come here and inherit certain things, Them might never get to reap the glory,
That is true. That's not Jamaica. That's everywhere. That's everywhere.
You might not get to read the glory, but you have your family, friends, or whosoever might come, your great grand or whatsoever might come read the glory. So you have to make sacrifice.
No, look. There are different ways to skin a cat, right? Some people can give advice. Some people can actually go and execute, right? Different ways to do it. But here's another thing too: the people in Jamaica, they don't encourage you to come and be part of the process. Because you're going to take their job sometimes, right?
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. We have this. We always the critique, the person who do the criticism. Always when you try to encourage them, they always find things to tell you why they cannot do it.
Right.
But when somebody decides, all right, I'm gonna step forward, I'm gonna serve, I'm gonna put myself out there to serve, then we now turn and we criticize them. We tell them what they're not doing well.
But fisherman, if you go serve, then you have to understand that you put yourself forward. It's not a charity thing. You're getting paid. You don't do well. You expect to lose your job. That's all life is. Anywhere you work, in Jamaica or otherwise. You don't do well, you should get rewarded. You should get penalized, right? There are repercussions for failure.
But what I'm saying, when you sit too much of us stay by the wayside and criticize, and we're not making an impact, we're not coming and try to, all right, even get you cannot get somebody, try encourage some people who you know.
Right.
To come and make the things better. All right, you let me listen to you, everybody that, all right, you're running a thing now where you can interview people.
Right.
Each time I hear somebody interview some person from the JFF, you come down hard on them. You say they're not asking the right question, they're not doing this, they're not doing that.
Right.
Why you don't get the person them and put the question them to them?
All right. So fisherman, they don't want to come on my channel. You don't understand the fisherman. You think I joke to me, I make? Me call the president, me call Speed, they don't want to come on my channel. They say, nah, come on my channel. They don't say it that way. Them say them can't go on everybody's channel, so them tell me. The president stop pick up my call. Fisherman, you made a statement, then me respond. They're not coming on my channel. Don't save crack. I feel Speed was my first interview now. I interviewed the president already. I interviewed Chung. I said interview them. Then knock up on my channel. Not about Chung, because Chung gone somewhere else now. Me even ask Trump to come on my channel, come interview for him new role, but it's a sensitive role, so him can't come. Me ask them, say, nah, come, what you want to do? Can't force him to come.
What I hear, I'd say to you, it was on, night before one of the nights when I called you. And you say something about Speed. I say, when I was saying, the guys, them to do this. Don't do this for the coach. Do this for themselves.
Right.
And you say, is a good, you're going to talk to Speed. I'm saying, no, you can't talk. You say you're on Speed in dialogue. That is what you said to me.
We do. I told you I asked Speed to come on my channel. That's what I'm telling you. Speed and I communication is very unique. It's not me talking to you. It's how would I say it? Their responses to things said in public domain. And sometimes those conversations have to be kept very confidential because they're not pleasant. Sometimes it's pleasant, sometimes it's not pleasant. But there is some backdoor dialogue, but he's not coming on my channel. Speed will go on. Let me tell you this is not even a secret. Speed went on Jason Gunnar channel. He went on Ball Pre-TV. There were people in the audience saying, Speed, where you going to Kranky channel? And he ignored it. I texted him and asked him, he said, before he went to Mexico, way before then, he said he can't go on everybody's channel. I don't know, it's no secret that. I say, all right. I not force you. I text the president. Yeah. Him say, no call me back. He no call me back. So me can't force me to come up my channel, my youth. So if me say me should ask him question. Wait, today I texted you on KLS and I said to him, I don't say, me not like to ask the question them. And question them make no sense to me. Him say if you call him, he say me not call him because what I do, the last time I call him, when you limit me and you put me in this box, box thing. Me have to ask the question, me where they want to ask it to get the impact me want it to have. Me you tell me say me have 2 seconds and me put this way and me can't get on background. Me not do that. That's waste of my time. And we say the audience time. If you hear me criticize because me know me have questions to ask. Here's another example, ask a question. They asked a question about Bailey. My question was this. Given the stats I've shown up, and say this stats them the fisherman, how in God's name does this player play 120 minutes? Please explain to me. Give me these stats.
You see,
that's my question. You are the coach. You're the coach of managed players, and you want to play the player over the best player, and the player is having a horrendous game. Even though some people say he have a great game. How come you're the coach? You didn't make a decision to take him off and put Cephas on that right wing when you put Cephas on forward. That's the question. That's the question. That's not a trick question. That's the question. Explain the thought process of keeping it on when he's hurting the team, he's not helping the team. That's a question.
No, but they open the line and say, why you say you're not going on because you're not following them rule.
Right. So I'm not wait. So here's the thing. They have a rule where they want to put you in a box. It's a friendly interview. They don't want you to be cantankerous. They don't want it to be a way in which the person feel uncomfortable. This is not a comfortable situation. This is not kumbaya. We failed to make the World Cup. It should be unpleasant conversation, not rude, not obnoxious, not unprofessional. It shouldn't be that comfortable. We're not saying, hey, Speedy, how you doing? You're not going to... No, I'm sorry. Fans are hurting. But that can't be the case.
Like you want to be in a combative thing with
I'm going to ask the uncomfortable question because they need to be asked. You're going to ask the uncomfortable question, they need to be asked. You have to. Otherwise, you're doing disservice to the public. Fisherman, man, you're supposed to come off 10 minutes ago and you see how you stay.
No, man, but me don't explain why I couldn't call.
All right,
I was somewhere else and I have to reach
But Fisherman, as usual, you have a point around the service to the country. You have a point. Yeah, I'm going to deny that. You have a point.
That's right. All right, you see the thing with Bailey. Me not think a Bailey best game when you say you're Maverick have some behind the scene thing. I think Maverick attack rubbish. Me think him attack rubbish,
Maverick is positive in his comments, and he's trying to justify it, and it makes no sense to me.
And I know when you say Maverick not do research, me know Maverick not do no research. Maverick is a man just talk things off him top of him head.
Yeah.
He just get up and he just say some things. Some I play them when you not talk, him not really know them, he not watch them. And he just say they're not good.
Wait, Fisherman. You know what's embarrassing today? The host is asking Rudolph Speid a question. And he couldn't articulate the new players who came in and what their roles were. So Rudolph kind of brush him off. You know the players, you can ask me no question. It was embarrassing. If you're the host that cover Jamaica football in the media, you have to know all them players there. Them back, at least if you don't know them, go do your research and know them. He didn't know he might ask questions about players and know nothing about. It's embarrassing. And then man, your farmer media across the YouTuber, them saying you don't know about football. Embarrassing, man.
You know, go kill a man if you don't know not gonna know. He not gonna know everything.
No, you gotta know the players. Come on, your own players in your own national team. Come on, Fisherman, you make it to them, man.
Me follow the football. I mean, no, me no know. I know everyone of the player them. Me know. I don't know.
You don't really follow football, then. You don't follow football.
I don't know everyone of the.
Yeah, follow cursory following.
Hold on. Enough of us don't follow. It's just since nowadays people start people searching for player for Jamaica, make people go League 1 and League 2 go look for.
No. You're conflating two things. There's a difference between I don't know in depth about the player and their background, but I don't know anything about the player at all. I don't even know the player. There's a difference between Brooks came in, Mason Clark came in, Tyrese Hall came in, right?
Yeah.
They couldn't mention the player's name. They didn't know the player. It's not like you say, well, Mason Clark played for Coventry or Tyrese Hall played for Notts County from that. No, they don't know nothing. They didn't know their names. That's embarrassing. You can't be a host doing that. I don't know the name. At a minimum, you should know the name.
But in the kind of, before him start calling name them, in the kind of pause and then call two of them name. He never call one of them. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying, man, I'm tired. I'm listening, especially since the YouTube space.
Yes.
It just bring out a lot of people who know things, who know almost everything on the internet. They know everything.
Right.
And I'm saying, why these people don't come and serve? That's why with me, I will give the person, you see the person who step up and serve, I will never. People want me come, like some people that like me come and tear down. No, I'm going to give them some grace. I'm going to give them grace because at least they stepped up and come and serve.
But no. Other people want to serve. There are other people who want to serve. No, are they good enough? I don't know, but they want to serve. There were people who
election.
Yes.
They have the election. You say you're not go on the next side, You did a back speed side, because you say them say something about local and overseas. And when you hear somebody say that, you say no, me not back them because if them come in, they not go pick no player.
No. Wait. Fisherman. That's not the reason why I take this. That you've been disingenuous.
No, it's me hear you say it.
No. So people. I got receipts. Fisherman, stop. I got receipts.
Every time you can have receipts,
yes.
You never can show
so put some money on it. Let me show you the receipt. So here's what I said, people. Here's what I said. It's clear. I interviewed Raymond, and he couldn't articulate what the hell he has done for the JFF. And I said he can't lead a football federation. That's a fact. That's the fact. I interviewed him, and the man in for 20-something years, and he can't tell me one team accomplishment by him out. And yet that was me I talk about me. That's why I don't support them.
Look here, man.
Fisherman. You work on your job. So you're a fisherman. And you can't tell me one big catch you have. I see. About 20 years you go fish. And you're here. I feel like a small fish you catch. You don't have one big, you can't catch a dolphin.
We get some big 10-ton snapper.
You can't tell me one that we can't support you then fisherman. You go fish for me. God. You can't fish for me, man. You can't fish for me. You can't fish for me. You can't fish for me, sorry, you can't fish for me.
The last thing I want to ask you.
Yeah.
You think, me not going back in the thing with the overseas and the local,
No, don't go to that. Leave that alone, man.
Me not go back in that. But me want to ask you this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You think these players, because to me, it sounds like you don't want to give the player them no blame. You think these players, what amount of blame you give these players? Because me just ask you.
So here's my thing, because since I've had a chance, people, this is not bragging, to work in major corporations, here's what I've learned. It's not the employee who failed you, it's management who failed you, because they're the ones who hire those employees. They're the ones who oversee the employees. They're the ones who guide the employees. So your main thing is to focus on what's the root cause. The root cause is I went and unsourced you, I put you in a position, and you failed. Therefore, what is my culpability and responsibility? The players are culpable. They know they're culpable. We know they're culpable, but they're disposable. The only constant is the federation. The players come and go. John Russell wasn't here. Greg Lee wasn't here.
No, John Russell wasn't here too.
No. What I mean is this. No. What I mean, the last round he wasn't here for the game, right? John Russell come, John Russell go. Wes Harding come, Wes Harding go. Nicholson come, Nicholson go. The players come and go. They don't control their destiny and how they are a national team. There's only one constant that don't go nowhere. What's the one constant, Fisherman?
Yeah. All right.
Exactly. The coach come and go. A three of them we have the last time. There's one constant.
Alright.
And and the one constant don't have, and they the ones don't feel no repercussions from this. They might get promotion to feel.
All right. The thing is, all this thing, they have to vote. So even if them, all right, so them step down and give somebody else come in and take charge.
Right.
And these players come again, and we have Nation League coming up, then we have World Cup.
Right.
And this federation pick these same players, and then them and pick a coach, and then them come and them fail to come out of the first round in the World Cup or get knocked out in the Nation League.
Right.
What we do now, we call for the federation head again.
No, but here's the thing: where we're speculating, so we don't know how that would work. Because 3 years ago the team was doing really well, weren't they? When Hogrimson first came, and we had Antonio and Gray and Bailey up front, and we had Busy in the middle, and we had Low in the defense. Wait, let me finish now. And then we played US and should have beat them when Bailey missed the penalty, and we destroyed Trinidad and went to the semis. We were doing really well because the players were playing at the high level. Those players got old or got injured. Bailey lost form, Antonio got injured, Gray lost form, right? Busy don't get called anymore, right? It's a different team, but I'm saying we had quality players and some of the same players, but life have moved on. We didn't recruit well. That's where we are now.
Voila, man. Voila, let me go write this up.
Yes.
If you never adjust, you see what you just said a while ago?
Yeah.
That what I'm saying, You guys in the YouTube space,
Right.
when Hallgrímsson come here,
Yeah.
yes, I wanna start see this team start play. You see the moment we get knocked out it starts from the Gold Cup, when we get knocked out, and didn't go to the final,
Right.
Wanna start see the team don't have no identity. What the team have built on is defense.
This word uno.
Yeah, man.
So I was was I in that uno?
In the
Wait. You can't just say all you players. Is that every player or certain players? Remember in uno. But you have make statement with them go so you can't be putting them by the same bucket.
In YouTube space, uno are the same person who start this thing. Say Hallgrímsson don't have no identity. When him go to the last straw we break the camel back, is when him go to the never win a match in the thing there.
In the Copa.
Only say we go and this play in this thing here telling say the man must leave because all the team do is them cannot attack. They don't have no identity. Are the same person who and don't the federation listen. Say all the while, say the federation listen on a podcast.
They don't necessarily execute. No, they listen, but they don't execute. Them listen to monitor. Wait. Them listen to monitor. And you will say, "Well, I'm off ban." When I'm off ban, so they can ban people like me. I tell you. Then listen ban. They must say, "Oh, you know what? Wait. Let me tell you, special man. Somebody can tell me this. There are people in the federation who have told people not to talk to me. Let me say this again. People in the federation, and I know who they are, have told people not to talk to me, not even get engaged with me. So we don't know what you're talking about. Huh?
When I ask you, what make a good coach? Or when a coach go and be successful, when a coach go into a country to coach a team. No, the coach going to be successful. You
don't know, but you look at his previous experiences to inform your perspective as to whether or not he'll give you the best chance for success. It's all based on history.
All right.
You can't see things prospectively. You got to see them now. Yes.
All right, when them look at Hallgrímsson and him say him qualify Iceland.
Yes, that's a big deal. Cup, that's a big deal, yeah.
And him I think him in the Euro, I think he did beat England.
He beat England, 2016, yeah.
He beat England. And when he was coming, you did agree, don't it?
Well, I didn't have a problem because I actually interviewed him. I actually interviewed him. You remember?
Yes,
on another channel, I interviewed him. Yeah.
So that means the JFF did make a good.
Yes, we all agree. We all agree with that. In fact, it gets better. It's like the 98 team. It gets better every day.
So why was you was one of the
I
persons.
wasn't one of the. You can't say I was one. You can't prove that. So don't say that. You can't prove that. You can't say that.
My God, you was on.
I don't recall. I can't recall.
Man, that time you never have a thing for yourself.
Okay.
I watch you know, man.
Okay.
You was on management program.
Yes.
More than once, you was on management program.
A lot. Actually.
When the team, you was one of the person. Yeah. Ryan was one of the person.
I can't recall, but it's possible. I can't recall, but it's possible. I can't. No, seriously, and it's not a joke. Yeah. I can't recall. But send me some receipts. Send me some receipts.
Beating down the coach. Said the coach the team not have no identity. I don't want a different coach.
I think I was saying one was praising Hogrimson for the brilliant work he did in the US when I went to go watch them play. Praising him for the strategy. Wait, let me finish. Praising for the strategy employ instead of scoring that goal. And I talked to people about how I went to this. I gave him all the flowers. You don't like flowers? That's your problem. But I gave him all the flowers at this. I don't know what you're talking about. And we can change our mind on coaches. So,
afterwards, even when him get beaten up against Canada in a stadium.
He had checked out. No. That's not true. He wasn't the one who saw them go. No, that's not true. Against Jamaican Stadium, that wasn't Hogrimson. That was a certain player who just posted stats who missed 3 sitters. What are you talking about? That's a nonsense you attack, Fisherman. A nonsense you attack. Fisherman and nonsense you attack. Fisherman and nonsense you attack. Fisherman, we didn't lose that game because of Jamaica play. We lost the game because one person missed 3 sitters. Open goal. Wait about Fisherman.
Then look. Hold on a second. So me know so why the game that we play against Curacao in Jamaica, we missed 5 sitters? I want to say the coach fault.
I never said it was the coach fault we missed sitters. I never said the coach fault we missed sitters. I said the coach fault but we didn't qualify. That don't have to do with just missing sitters. I said, wait, first of all, in Jamaica, you know what happened? The coach acquiesced to fans and forced me to put on locally born players, and we had 4 them on the field.
That's why we lose. Come on.
No, but it's part of the reason. It's part of the reason.
A 5-sitter we get in the stadium and didn't score.
Yeah, but most of them get by local born players.
So don't put, and you know, say, you always say people diaspora and local. You always go there.
No. You know why I went there? You know why I went there? Because at the end of the day, everybody's saying it was the overseas players who caused us not to get to the World Cup, and we should start. Wait, hold up. Your general manager said that we shouldn't go down that route anymore. We should change.
Mr. Kranky.
Yes.
I tell you that I'm not going to know. I'm trying to get away from the local and the English. And see, you cannot help yourself. You have to go back.
But I have to go back there because I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to show you that the blame was being put on the English-born players, not the local-born players.
We was here and talking about. We know all of that. We gone past that.
Okay. So let's keep going. Let's not go back then. Let's not go back. Let's go back. We missed 5. Yes, we missed 5 chances. So what you want to say is the players are not the coach. What's what you're saying?
I give the player the most of the blame.
I think the blame is shared between all parties involved. Coach, administration, and players.
But at the end of the day, as me say, me agree say the Speed them to go. Me agree. When I say them to go, me not go beat them like no. Did I say Speed should go? Wait. Did I say Speed should go? You say the federation figure, the federation figure Speed and figure with the federation too. So, what do you mean go from what? Being federation person or being national coach? Hold on again. Hey, think what I said before we say it now. I said if Speed became national coach. Wait. I said he became national coach. You said, yeah. Players goes, players change, and we still have the same. I didn't call any name. As far as I'm concerned, then you have to call name. Then if you say the federation. Yes. The federation to go on a boat with Speed and everybody. Okay. So that's how you interpret it. Speed is not part of the federation anymore. Speed is a coach. Wait. Let me do like Speed. Speed says he's no longer part of the federation in a sense. He's not a coach. He doesn't have any seat. He doesn't have a technical director role anymore or technical committee. He's just trying to be the coach. He's almost like he's out of the federation. Isn't he? Am I confused? If Speed be the coach tomorrow morning, you have a problem with it? What I would say is this. I'm not sure you should reward failure. I'm not sure you should reward failure.
But I'm saying, look. If he gets appointed coach, I said if he becomes the coach, I'm supporting the national team. How about that? But it's true. But should you reward failure? You just say he should go, right? You say he should go, right?
Then I said that. But
Right.
You are saying you never said that.
I never said he should go.
And then me,
But I'm saying I'm not rewarding failure. Did Speed fail? Did Speed fail? Did Speed fail?
They're not qualified for the World Cup, so them fail.
So you shouldn't reward failure.
Lord of His mercy. Don't I just say to you, say yes, them to go. I mean, ask you. You say you never say him to go in. You never
I never called on him. I just said if you're a patriot, you should sacrifice yourself, and if they fail, and you should reward failure. It's clear. I make people infer from what I'm saying. That's all. And I said you should do a search for a coach. You should never disappoint a coach. You should do a due diligence and try to get the best. You have some time now. There's no reason to rush into a coach, No reason.
The thing is,
no reason to rush into a coach, people. We have a good time. Before, wait, Fisherman. Before Hogrimsson left, we're in the World Cup qualification, which is expediency to get a coach. Do we know what I'm on? Take your time. Digest. Get some breathe out. No rush.
You see, the thing is, you see, let me tell you about coaches. None of us, nobody know. No matter how we can say Pep Guardiola right now playing a coach in England, and him come coach in national team, and him don't get the result when him get in a Manchester City.
Right. What do you mean? Say it again.
I said him a coach in a Manchester City,
and
him get result. He can come to Jamaica, come coach the national team, and don't get the result when him get in a Manchester City.
I would agree with that. It's about the quality of the players. A lot of times.
It's
about the quality of the players.
So the thing is, you have people, when I hear people talk, it seems like them can see through them have a man named Nostradamus. Can say them could see in the future or something like that. It's like when people talk, it's like whosoever hire the coach can see what the coach going to do. Him a go get result. Them know everything, say the coach. When them get a coach come here, people call for Parallel. Mere people are calling for Parallel. Parallel, what is Parallel?
He doesn't have any. He doesn't have a resume.
He don't have any.
You ever hear me call for Parallel? You ever hear me call for Parallel?
But you hear people calling.
Wait. You know what you do sometime? You put all the YouTubers in a box and you say the people I'm calling. Me say if me call, you just skip me.
You notice me never say uno.
But so when you say uno, that means I mean.
You hear me say? You notice me say people. Me never say uno.
Fine, you never say uno. Fine.
So people call for Parallel. Say Parallel to coach side because. And when you check it out, if you look on, you say people will look on the resume, look on what them do and all of it. What kind of resume Parallel after you look on?
He doesn't.
The same people
He doesn't.
Did a cuss out McClaren and did a cuss out Hallgrímsson. Calling for Parallel, we don't have nothing, no farmer resume. But them a call for him, say him could have carried the team.
That is true.
As far as me concerned, when you hire a coach, you see a coach, you look at him resume, no matter how good him resume is, when him come, him can fail. And then you say, them hire the wrong coach, No. Fisherman. In the case of McClaren, that's not true. We were saying that from day one. Go look at I call it disrespect. Go look at the video that 433 dropped about him. Day one. 433 went viral. He went viral with that video talking about so we shouldn't hire him. Come on. Talk about 4333.
No, but saying he went viral. We all said it. We all said it. We said it, but we didn't say it that viral. We didn't say it with that disdain.
Me tell you no. Me watch his space them, Press are the only person when McClaren them announce that McClaren are come here.
That's not true.
Come out and put him neck out there.
That's not true. That's not true. I said it was a lazy hire. That's not. You know what? I'm trying to find a video. Me drop. That's not true. That's not true.
And I will apologize. Find the video.
That's not true.
You see when McClaren play, I wish McClaren. When McClaren start, I wish much he play. And people come out and start say, sit. You can see that.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
You can see the identity already.
That is true.
And those same person come now, slaughter it. You hire the wrong coach. Full coach you hire. Look here. As I said,
But that was true though.
coach
A lot of people said that
coach
actually.
get blame. May not have a problem coach getting blame, but I'm saying I watched the whole World Cup campaign. We get the easiest group. We call for the federation when the people them come out and call for the players them. Sometime I hear say them not get the right, they not get the player them, and then most of the player they want to call for, we see them end up coming at the team. I see them end up coming the team. And then when we see them, first thing when I see them, I watch a couple of them before, and when I see them, and people was raving and talking about these players are some top players, and me say, what are you talking about?
Most of those players didn't come. So we're talking about 5 players, right? That's not true. Or 6 players. We're talking about Jonathan Rowe. We talk about Mason Greenwood. We talk about Max Aaron. We talked about Cameron Archer. We talk about Rico Henry. Those are the players we were talking about in the summer.
Hold on.
And probably Phillips if he came from Crystal Palace.
Only never talk about Russell.
Hell no. Hell no. Russell, first of all, Russell was here before. No. Russell was here before because Russell played in the let's not Fisherman. Played in the Gold Cup before.
Wow.
He scored. They didn't call him back for over a year, and then they called him back. Never talk about Russell. No, we talk about Russell. Nope. Wasn't supportive of Russell either. Thought he was lanky. He didn't have any. Yours truly wasn't supportive of Russell. Nope. And I criticized Russell. Russell.
You didn't talk about Russell. Did you hear anybody in this space talk about Russell? Any one of your friends them in this space talk about Russell?
No, some supporting him, but no, not really.
You didn't hear JD talk about Russell?
No, I didn't hear JD talk about Russell, no. But he probably did. I don't know. I don't Fisherman. I don't watch a lot of channels sometimes, I was on JD channel the other day, but I was on JD channel, but I don't always watch JD channel. You fix me watch something every day. Remember one work well do pick up talk to them.
The Russell, the Palmer.
I didn't talk about Russell, didn't talk about Palmer. Didn't talk about Russell or Palmer.
The Bailey, Calamatre.
Hey, I'm Fisherman. Nobody criticizes Russell like I do. None.
All of those players.
Fisherman, listen to me.
All of those players.
Fisherman, listen to me now. Nobody criticizes Russell like I do. Nobody.
No, I'm not talking you alone.
Okay.
I'm not talking you
alone. Say nobody criticizes him like I do.
Saying, the
nobody.
YouTube player, the YouTube space, they go and them brag say them are scout. They brag about their scouting thing.
You know some fisherman. It's easy to criticize Russell. You know what? Me not get no pushback. It's easy to criticize English-born players because me not get no pushback.
Oh my God.
Except from Chris Smith. Except from Chris Smith. Listen, I say Russell. Except from Chris Smith, me not get no other pushback. Me not get no cussing. If me do King, me get cussing. Me do King, me get cussing. That's true. Me do King, me get cussing. Because I've supported King. I've supported King and supported Cephas. Yeah.
You see the next coach will come here, and if them call King, and them have their type of ball game where they want to play, like we want to keep possession of the football, and if them happens to call King and him a play, and him start boot the ball forward and him talk to him and him continue to do it, we need the coach to take him off of the team, send him somewhere, and make him stay for a while. And make him realize him run the team.
Yeah. All right.
Take him off. Send him one side.
On that point, I'm going to cut you off because somebody tried to call about the last. How long are you there? 2 minutes? You turn a kettle. We'll talk. I'm going to leave you. I'm going to take the call and I'm done.
So big up.
Yeah, man. Bless. Thanks for the talk. Yeah, man. Good night. You're the last call for the night. Hello?
Kranky.
Yes, you're the last call for the night. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, when me there start call, me listen to Fisherman all long.
Yeah, Fisherman talk enough. Yeah, man, go on. You have the floor.
But start off with 2 things first. Kranky, don't give up on the program. Because guess what now? You say you're not doing free money, I'm not want you to do free money.
Okay.
We need somebody to stand up for what's right. You get me? You see most of the space right now, these people, they are all for themselves. You get me? Them is all for tear down. Them is not for build. Right? And the next thing I must say again,
Why you look into this? I want you to come off here, but still not look into this. How much coach we have after Tapa?
After Tapa, is it about 4? Am I wrong? 5, 4. We had Paul Hall, right? Then we had Hogrimson. Then we had it's 4. Then we had Speed.
All right, more sure something. This is some of these long-time core player. All we sit here, the BJFF, them forget beat too. Because some of them is like a foundation team like JFF. For instance, Anandilo, in father to play for the team, we give him so much respect to him father come down to him. Right? No one coach are come in, can't talk to them, the player what they decide all a 3 World Cup term already. No one coach can come and bring them out of them way. Right? If a new coach will do something, now is the right time for a new coach to come in, or anybody who they take it over right now, don't give that the player they know confidence in our team, like say, yeah, him can hold up a coach responsible, and him can hold up a JFF hostage or nothing. That is one of the reasons why Leon Dale in the field so long in that match too. Because whatsoever, we don't know if Speed free to take him off if him afraid of backlash or whatsoever. You get me?
Let me say, I agree with you on the Bailey thing. I find it incomprehensible that he played 120 minutes. And you know people track stats during games in some circles, right? Because they know what the eye seeing them, but they're also tracking the stats and see how people are doing. Because it's constant. But say people have their iPad, it's constant monitoring. It's not only just looking at what you're seeing eye test, is it what the formation look like, how people are playing, what the stats saying. People are doing continuous monitoring and continuous assessment and continuous management during games. It's not one. That's why you see when people in the NBA, they see people they have calls like, you know what? They want to challenge because somebody's there doing monitoring. This football, the game has changed, sports has changed. And for you to have a player playing 120 minutes and his stats, people, see the stats that me again, I'll put them up. I don't know if you see me a fight Bailey. You can't, 1 of 6 dribble, 1 of 7, forget about the crosses them, because I just stand in a corner. 30 possession lost, 4 for 16, and you're still up on the field. You have 5.6 rating, the next lowest man at 6.2, you're the only one under 6, and you're the star player, and you still up on the field, and you're the coach, and you're a manager, and you say, joke thing that, man, joke thing. Go on, sir.
Let me tell you something, Kranky. This is Speed. Do you see something with Speed since him turn the coach his side in a 2 game? Speed no, like how some people they say, yeah, some people prefer local based player than overseas player. Me not see Speed by that. Me see Speed by none of both sides. Me see Speed stand up in a middle and him not free to choose a player from overseas or Jamaica player.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, and
I think he want the best player going to fit the system too. He wants to give himself the best chance to win. That's what I see.
That is the reason why me no have no problem if him get the interim coach.
Okay.
You see him come in, him drop off balls off his side, right?
Yeah.
He no call Bailey, he no start Bailey in the first game. That our want in his side. We need somebody to put on their foot and do all right. If a player they disrespect a team, they disrespect a coach, they disrespect a country, and if you say country, some people in that country who don't know wrong from right, go ball for him, and then the coach put him in, one that coach so if it turn up and say him now come.
Yeah, and I hear you. I do think there'll be more discipline. I think the standards have been set. I think players know what the requirements are. I think there was much more latitude going on in terms of certain players and certain players getting exemptions from certain things. I think Speed is a disciplinarian. He's probably a dictator in a sense, which sometimes people like Alex Ferguson were. My only concern for Speed is if he gets the job, which I've said this before, do you reward failure? And then secondly, how do you manage all those conflicts that you have? Because they only get worse when you get the job on a full-time basis. It's one thing to have it on interim. We're going to coach Cavaliers and own Cavaliers and you're going to do all of that. And you're still going to have influence in the JFF because you may say you're not involved in certain things, but they're going to consult you. So they take you part of the process. How does that work?
Guess what, Kranky? It's in life. It might be funny, but all of us have to pay to learn.
Yeah.
And them say, wanna kill you, make you stronger. Or it make you wiser.
I could also paralyze you.
It could have, yeah, no people don't get a chance to learn. For instance, Speed, him cannot get a chance to learn because if he can resign or anything can happen right now. People call female, people want him leave. But Oro know, say yeah, him see which part him go wrong and he can't correct it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he will probably be coaching the JFF going forward because he might be going local and we'll see what happens.
I feel like say Miguel Coley should have get the job.
But when people say that, I'm saying, what has Miguel Coley done to get the job?
Guess what now? It's Miguel Coley now. Me see him it's him coaching went on Jamaica. Like I say, I grew up in Jamaica. Me not see no side of Jamaica when the wall ball passed around. And me see him do it in a JC, which was when the schoolboy thing.
Right.
And be a person of Jamaica player, they play like that. He must be know the game of play the play like that. We before they talk about A license,
Right.
E license, and all of that. Right?
Yeah.
And when I'm on that thing, when in the last match we were playing, we see him by the sideline, they talk to him play them. We see him
Yes.
talk to the CDM, what name?
Hayden.
Yeah, we see him talk to the pass on information to Aiden. We see him pass on information. Don't coach, don't coach and do that there. They pass on information on they talk to players say, yo, you need to do this that game or you need to watch that there or something. They don't stand up on the sideline line the look so. And I wait for going to the dressing room for no reason.
No, I think I think the view that Speed has expressed, and some people that they got some information, is that the environment was good, but McClaren said the same thing about the vibes environment. We seem to have a lot of vibes, and we have a lot of output, a lot of vibes thing.
I put you in a spotlight right now, Kranky, right?
Yeah.
What you do wrong? What you are doing wrong? That's people go say. The JFA people they have never come for your YouTube channel come reason with you. What you think you do wrong?
It's not anything wrong. I think what happens is sometimes organizations believe you're too critical of them. It's not unique to Jamaica. You have it in the US sometimes. We have some reporters are banned. Trump would do that with people, and there's only Fox people on his channel and on his in terms of part of his press corps. So I think what happens is I was received really well when I supported them when they ran for election, but subsequently I've been critical of them and the inability for them to get certain things done, and people don't like it, right? So what happens is they will then say to their people, don't engage with this person because he's not supportive of us, they don't like us, and we therefore shouldn't engage them.
See, I'm going to ask another thing.
Yeah.
How far a person can run from the truth?
I don't know, but the truth just sets you free.
If they have to come back to the truth,
Yeah, I mean, people don't come to me and say, "Well, you're not speaking the truth, Kranky." Or they would say to me, "I didn't say this about something," or "I have changed." They're not saying, "Well, Kranky, what you're saying is not accurate," and that's what you want. You don't want somebody to say you're saying something which is inaccurate, or you calling them something. You call them corrupt, for example, when you can't prove it. So you're not saying something derogatory because you're just saying it to get likes, or you're saying it because it sounds good. You're saying it just because you want to be toxic. You're saying it because one is about opinion and another is about factual. And I do talk about both quite a bit, which is in some instances, people give me information which I corroborate and it's facts and people can't dispute it, or a view about something, and sometimes those views materialize, sometimes they don't. But we all have views about certain things, like views about a coach. I don't think the coach should be there. Sometimes it may be different. The outcome will prove it or not, which person's opinion was right.
I look here. You see, Presser, I was budding out Presser. I was like, maybe I speak Presser as somebody who, well, I mean, I know all the things I'm gonna pray, but you see, Presser is a sensible human being.
And Presser is very young too, by the way. Presser is not even 26 yet. Presser is a baby.
Presser
He's a smart baby.
and guess what now? Real Kranky. Because Presser, I can see that Presser respect you, and you respect Presser because Presser understand you and you understand Presser.
Well, no, when people were burning up Presser, I was one of the people who was not in agreement with that, you know. I didn't agree with how Presser articulated himself, but I think he had the right to say what. Look, the thing about agreeing with Presser wasn't saying anything but wasn't right. It was his opinion. People were getting hard at him. I don't think there was fear. Because somebody's view don't align with yours, don't mean that you should got to go at them a certain way, right? Because they have a view. And it even proved him more right because the person didn't turn up. Frankly, the person turned up to be something other than what they portray themselves to be, or maybe satisfy or justify his view because it shows one side of the person which is not favorable. Right? But I think Presser said, even when Presser came in at McClaren, I thought he could use better language. But the substance was there. But sometimes language matters, right? Sometimes language matters. You gotta be careful what you say sometimes because you want people to receive your message, but you don't want to turn them off at the same time. In my case, it happens sometimes I say it because I know what it's gonna do. People are gonna be turned off, but I can't help you because it needs to be said. So if you go passive sometimes and people don't get it, sometimes you gotta go hard to make sure it lands really well.
Yes, sir. That's the greatest thing, Kranky. If they see something, you speak it as how you see it. Doesn't mean you can't hold it back.
Yeah, because I mean, and people don't realize that when I was in corporate, I was this way. You know, it got me in trouble a lot of. I managed, but how I said it, but it was still substantively the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I remember having a difficult situation with a CEO once, a well-known CEO. I'm gonna say the CEO name in my company. So I told the CEO he bought a bank, and I said it wasn't the right acquisition. And boy, I tell you, it was the most uncomfortable situation in my entire career. The man came at me hard. And eventually they sold and got rid of the bank because it was a bad decision. It was so obvious it was a bad decision. I wasn't being a genius. I just like, you bought a bank to do X, Y, Z. It doesn't satisfy this criteria you're trying to attain. They're not going to generate the revenues. I don't know why you buy this bank. And I didn't say it in that way. I said it much more carefully. He took it different way. When your CEO go at you, my youth, it's never fun enough. It's never fun. And he did it in front of people too. And my philosophy is always to hit back hard. And in that instance, I said to myself, you know, I'm going to be proven right. So let's see what it works. It didn't take long for me to be proven right. And the CEO left the company. Because when you make bad decisions, there's a price to be paid. That's why you hear me talking about the JFF. When you make bad decisions, there's a price to be paid. Somebody got to fall. Somebody has to fall. That's how life is. Somebody has to fall.
I just think that, guess what now? You see, in life, if you don't be ruthless, then you're not going to rule.
When in sports is the most ruthless of maybe any other discipline. You win.
Yeah.
Wait. Even when you win, if you win this year and next year you flounder, look at Postecoglou. He won Spurs. They were floundering the league, but he won Spurs of Europa League. They haven't won a trophy in God knows how long. Next year he's floundering and got rid of him. That's how it is. There's euphoria at one point. We win, we're happy. But if you don't produce the next year, you may not survive. Look at Klopp. What's his name from Liverpool is the biggest example. Slot. Slot won last year, first year. They say he won with team, which is not worst team, and he's better than Klopp. And next year, Liverpool is not even to say struggling per se. They're not in the top 10. They're in the top 10 or the top 6, but they're struggling to make top 4. And people want him fired after he won his first year.
All right, I'm gonna say this to you, right? Picture a coach coming to Jamaica program like when the Hallgrímsson coming, right? And him drop Leon Bailey, right? Probably that's the right thing to do, you know. But what the country go say, even though somebody can sit down and say, well, Leon Bailey not give it nothing, right?
Yeah.
What people go say, people want to cause, people want to do Black Road, all type of thing, mate, and it is the right thing to do. So sometimes life is just, you have to just do what you have to do as a person. Just like how you want to do what you have to do as a person, and people are run from you. But deep down, they're going to see the truth at the end of the day and come back around. You get me?
Yeah,
And that is the reason why Kranky, we don't want to leave out of the space.
Yeah, well, the space is very unforgiving. So we'll see what happens. But I appreciate the call, sir. I'm going to leave you. Because maybe I feel about 4 hours now.
Right, never Minzy, you know, me miss Minzy channel, you know.
Yeah, no, Minzy was good. Minzy can move her from the football.
He's very respectful.
Yeah.
And
Minzy are good people. Minzy are good people.
Yeah.
Minzy are good people. And Minzy does cover football, but mainly in video. He don't do them show like we used to do, actually. He does mainly track and field, which is less toxic space to be in, actually. Because of individual sport, right? It's not about the J3A a lot of times. It's about the individual. They're either good or they're not good. They run well or don't run well. It's not like football, it's a team sport, and team dynamics and team organization drives some things more than just individual players. So anyway, thanks for the call, sir.
We need about Minzy in nice space, Kranky. We need about people like Minzy in nice space. You get me?
Yeah, man. Bless up. I'll leave you, though.
Respect.
Yeah, man. Have a good night.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm going to click out. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. It's damn, I came on 8 o'clock, 8:30. It's almost 12 o'clock. Longer than I thought I would be, but thanks for being here, people. We will have another discussion. We talked about we did a look back tonight on what transpired and what got us here. We're going to look forward next time, a more positive conversation about things that we can do to allow us to be more effective and create and put in place a more sustainable football program that will allow us to compete at the highest level. Right now, I mentioned that today. I think one of the things that gives you some idea of how well a football program actually works is your ability to produce players who can play in any environment at any level, especially in the middle of the park. Until we start doing so, we'll struggle. But we will talk about, we'll discuss, and have a conversation about what we need to do to enhance Jamaica football to get us to be able to compete on a global basis on a more sustainable level. Thanks for being here. Have a good evening. Before you leave, please hit the like button. If you have not subscribed, please do so. This is Kranky, authentic, call it like it is, don't compromise, and trying to be respectful. Have a good night. Peace out.